Tyre Power's Big Easter sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of Toyo tyres. Hop in and get the power of a sweet deal on Toyo tyres for your car or SUV. Buy 3 and get 1 free. That's buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power to have a safe Easter on the road with Tyre Power's Big Easter sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Proud partner of 3AW Football.
It's a game for the game, not the faint of heart. It's a game that you love right from the very start. Stirs passion and blood when you hear the call. You gotta be game to play this game and give your all.
This comes in Collingwood, Essendon, Sydney, Hawthorn, Adelaide, Richmond, Melbourne, Geelong, West Coast, St Kilda, Fremantle, North Melbourne, Brisbane, Western, Bulldogs,
something about our game, something about the sound of our game. To be your heart, like a runaway train, when they go with you, there's something about it.
Dermot Brown in his lane, Lalany's back in the centre of the ground.
Not a well man is a well man. Jack Davey picked it up, one bounce. Hi ho everybody. Charlie Chapman across his body for a goal.
There would not be a bigger roar if 1,000 blokes in Broadmeadows won touch. Jones has picked it up and kicked a long goal. One of the best goals you will ever see.
Buddy Franklin on the left half forward flank of the River Red. It puts it on its way and it's a goal. It's a goal.
Something about our game, something about the sound of our game, the sound of football. Oh, the best team in town make you feel like you're part of the game.
Could I remind you that this is 3AW Football?
And thank you very much to you, Harry Beitzel. Thank you, brother. And my last hurrah is going right throughout Australia and our relays to the Northern Hemisphere. If you're listening anywhere, welcome to 3AW Football for McDonald's. And might I say, the best thing I've ever discovered on the way home from Footy Nightline is a 60-cent soft-serve cone that I don't tell Lynn about, but they are magnificent Macca's soft-serve cones. So if you're listening in Greece, all the best to you over there, not going well financially. If you're across there for the royal wedding, how ironic is it that Sam Newman sat with me interviewing Michael Johnson all those years ago when Lady Diana was tragically killed in Paris, and today her little boy marries her beautiful princess, and Sam Newman and I are back together. So welcome to 3AW Football. I'm going to be joined by Shane McGuinness here tonight, calling with me. He's the straight man. He's not going to get much to say, but Robert Walls and Sam Newman, two of my great friends, adversaries on the field, friends off it. Sam, you just look so excited that you just look like you've just won Tats Lotto on Port Docklands.
I'm very happy to be here, Rex.
I can see that, yeah.
I'm going to remain positive and we're going to be objective about the game until it turns ugly, and then we'll give you both barrels. But mind you, we keep an open mind. I can't speak for Robert. I haven't been to the football live for a while, so this will be an interesting encounter. Could I just make two comments? First of all, why the umpires don't wear all white just every game, I don't know. Just white. And why the players are allowed on the ground before the game starts is beyond me. Warm up in the rooms and then come out and get on with it.
Well, we used to do that, Robert. Even on a greasy day, they'd fill the rubbish bins up with training oil, and you'd actually, for want of a better expression, touch a greasy ball before you actually ran onto Princess Park.
Well, they did, Rex, and good evening to everyone. You're right. I can remember Ron Barassi started that. If you were playing in wet, muddy conditions, he'd have a couple of rubbish bins filled with water and the football soaking in them. And the other thing he did, Sam Barras, and it was a funny look that we were too scared to laugh, though. He was captain coach. He would cut his socks off at ankle height, so he didn't have the footy socks and the mud and the water heavy on the legs. So he would he was ahead of his time.
What year was that?
That was about 66.
Yeah. I would have been playing against you.
I can remember one day I went to Victoria Park when they were playing St Kilda, and I was around the grounds for the main game, and walking down the Jack Rush stand was Shagger Barassi. And I said, one of us is at the wrong ground. Harry and Bill were at the MCG waiting for him, Hawthorn and Essendon, and Ron had come to the wrong ground. So that was it. We had some lovely times, but you were just being serious for a moment. just take us back to you interviewing Michael Johnson, and I said to you, we have to cross to Colin Tyrus at the Threadneedle National Newsroom, and you said, Colin, we're crossing to you, this better be good. And it's as if it happened yesterday, and the little boy who was left alone behind his mother's casket is marrying the princess tonight in a fairy tale wedding, Sam, which you would know nothing about.
No, none of my weddings were fairy tale, let me tell you that. But no, I was here, obviously, as you just said then, the day that we were interviewing the great Michael Johnson, who was an ordinary man, incidentally. It gave us nothing. And I think, was it Stephen Price radioed in?
The squadron leader, yep.
The squadron leader, and he said, cross, and I said, this better be good, because we were speaking to the gold medalist at the time, and sure enough, it wasn't good, but it was probably something that changed the world.
Robert, where do you think the game's gone? Because, you know, this is we're giving a service to our Threadneedle listening public, because where do you think the game's going? Why would a coach need 15 other blokes to tell him what to do? Has it changed that dramatically?
Well, Rex, I think it is the toughest game in the world to coach, purely because there's more players on the ground and it's the biggest field in which any sport's played. So I think if we go back to our day when Tommy coached you and Bobby coached Sam and Ron coached me, if we're totally honest, if you said to them, how do you think your 18 players went, they would be guessing with half of them, because you just don't know. So the stats have come into it, and you've got backline coaches, forward line coaches, ruck coaches, defensive coaches, all that sort of thing. I do think that the senior coaches lost a fair bit of his authority, and I'll never forget Wayne Bennett, the great Brisbane Broncos coach, who's still coaching, and Wayne would be close to 70, if not 70. He came to watch a game in Brisbane years ago, and I had the match committee around me and assistant coaches, only about 3 or 4, not like it is today. And he pulled me aside and he said, how come you got all these people telling you what to do? And it made a bit of sense to me, particularly the match committee. He said, you should pick your own team. You don't need to have to argue with other people about what side you send out.
And Sammy Newman, you like me, and Robert, you know, what's done is done and you get on with it. But do you ever sort of think, what if, because you desperately wanted to coach at one particular, how close at any stage of your life were you to coaching senior football in the best competition in the land?
I didn't desperately want to coach, but I did put my hand up to coach Geelong when who got the sack?
Rod Olsen got the job. Billy got the sack.
No. Johnny Devine got the job.
The preacher.
Yeah. But I agree with Robert. There is so many people. Now, I'll just give you an instance. Mark Neild either was sacked or resigned. He was what's known as a performance coach. What is a performance coach, and why would Mark Neild be in charge of performance at Essendon? What sort of title? These are just made-up, contrived titles to give a whole lot of people who work at a football club some sort of credibility. I have no idea what a performance coach is. I would think the main coach, John Worsfold, would be responsible for their performance, and all the rest is just window dressing.
Well, the problem is, Sam, as the years have gone by, particularly in the last 20 years, and in particular the last 10, AFL is very much follow the leader. A lot of sheep out there who, if one club does something, if one club appoints a person to a position, the next club thinks we've got to do that too. And the spend in football departments has just skyrocketed.
Need you and Sam to just convey to our listeners, because you've been on and off the field, but on the field, the best sprays you've ever had. I was late one day for show day for the grand final last session in 1969, and Tom said, is the police force interfering with football? He said, well, give up the bloody coppers. And that was a fair spray. And then after Robert kicked 3 on me in the first 10 minutes of the grand final in 72, he said, you are single-handedly trying to liquidate Punt Road, Rex, piss off. What about you, Sam? Who gave you the biggest spray of all time?
Probably the great Graham Farmer, when I got knocked out by Maurice Sankey in about the 3rd game of the year at Princess Park in 1965, and I was lying in the middle of the circle after we'd just kicked 2 goals in about 30 seconds, and while the trainers were attending to me in the middle of the circle, Polly limped up to me and he said to the trainer, could you drag him out of the circle? He said, we're on a roll and he's holding things up. And they did. They dragged me out of the circle and put me down on the forward line, and I fell over when they propped me up. And
you were actually almost out of it. And the thing that came into your mind when you were laying in the circle was that, what that?
Just how neatly I fitted in it.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll get to you, Robert, in a minute, but let's go down to Darren James. Love on the bonnet. Welcome to 3AW for Synovus Vitamins.
G'day, Rex. G'day, team. Great to be part of it down here. I can smell the grass. I can smell the liniment. I'm that close. Coach Richardson is right in front of me. He's going to start off coaching from the boundary line by the look of it.
That's enough down there, and you've got a man sitting next to you who... why are you so unkind to the Elephants? Apparently he wants to wish the team all the best for the call tonight.
Hello, this is Kamal. And can I just say that, AFL, it's an automatic football league. I just love it. Good to be here.
Right, that's enough. Here's Shane. Not Shane Healy. This is Shane. What's your name?
You got to tell Darren he's standing on the artificial grass. That's what he's smelling.
3AW Saturday night football. This is it, folks. The last one, the last hurrah. Sam Newman, Robert Walls, Darren James on the boundary. But it's about this man tonight. 50 years of VFL, AFL footy for one last time. Let's get it underway. It's the Saints and Collingwood. Here's Rex Hunt on 3AW football.
Man, thank you very much, Shane. From the umpire, David Harris approaches the rubber ring and goes bang, and Hickey goes up against Grundy. Grundy got one, who was knocked out towards Gresham, and now Jock Ross. Long ball down to the left half forward flank, and oh, what a wonderful mark down there to the Collingwood side in Scharenberg. And Scharenberg's got it, and he pops it off further. Gets it off now to Howe, who hand pass over the top and gets it on now to Murray. The River Murray, he tries to get it out further now. A long ball down by Crisp, who hasn't got any idea who Sam Kekovich is, and Sam doesn't know him as well. Here come the Pies on the left half forward flank, but it's now Gresham. He gets Gresham and he gets in towards the half forward line, and a good mark has been taken by Shane. Doesn't know, and neither do I. Down towards the half forward line. St Kilda in the goal square, off the ground. Nunes
hit the stick, Rex.
It's behind the stick, and it was a Wilbur post.
And if I could say, Rex, just 1 minute into the game, there's no one on one half of the ground. They're all up the St Kilda forward line.
That's why we're paying Sam the big bucks. Here's Shane McGuinness.
Wonder how many times that error is going to be made tonight. Nice to have Wilbur back with us on 3AW football. Here's Jack Crisp at left half back.
Hutchie didn't like Wilbur.
Collingwood kicking to the Coventry end.
50-metre
penalty for encroaching the mark.
Is Ralph here tonight?
No, Ralph's dead, but Jack is. Good evening to you, Jack. Your selection? No, that's Jack's. That's Bruno. We'll get back to you in a minute.
Jack Crisp to take his free kick on centre wing. St Kilda one behind. Collingwood yet to score.
He's going to go long to Cox.
Opening quarter on 3AW footy for Chemist Warehouse. There's Big Mason Cox. Not able to take the mark. Lurking behind. Diving on top of it. Caulfield feeds out a little handball. Ross at ground level. I flicked it up. Gave it straight to side bottom. Flying shot of goal misses. Minor score. Collingwood one behind. St Kilda one behind. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
And get your pills at Chemist Warehouse. Not like the bloke that rang me last night and said the farm wants to take a pill. That's what's wrong with you people out there. You take too many pills. Get your backside out of bed and walk. Now a short kick in, and this is the man with no surname, St Kilda's Jack Stephen. Got it back over to Savage, who kicked a long ball out towards the half-back flank. Looking over there for Membrane. He couldn't take it. Membrane. What's a membrane, Sam?
Something you haven't got.
Thank you very much. Well, it was like when I got circumcised when I was 16. I said to the doctor, go ahead, it's no skin off my nose.
Spinning.
Oh boy, we're 2.5 minutes into 3AW Saturday night football. It already feels like 3.5 hours. Ball comes back into play, picked up by Pendlebury. 53 metres out, puts it to the top of the goal square. Coming through to Goey, not able to mark. Ball bounces up for side bottom. Misread it. Here's Josh Thomas now. Handball to a man in space. That's Phillips. Tom's Phillips.
Yeah,
puts it back and out of bounds on the full.
He's the screwdriver, Ed Phillips.
Panhead.
Craig Moore gave me that. I think he should just concentrate producing.
Free kick to Bailey Rice.
He's a panhead.
First game.
Yes, it is the son of Special Fried Rice, Dean Rice. So it came out now on the hand pass across from Clark of St Kilda into the centre of the ground, and Jock Ross has got it off to Savage and Geary. Geary's long ball down towards the half-forward flank. At the back, can they get it going, Saints? They're going to bring it in there towards the half-forward line, and running onto it is Big Hickey. Can Hickey get it? No. Hickory dickory dock. He nearly fell over the clock, and he can't get it. And ball, says the crowd, and your boot, says the umpire. And the umpire says, I'm going to actually give a free kick to Collingwood, and it's going to go down to the man that doesn't know who Sam Kekovich is. It's Jack Crisp. And those soft serves at McDonald's, the crispest cones, Shane, you've ever eaten.
They're absolutely delightful, Rex.
I don't get some vouchers out of this. I tell you what, I'm giving it away after tonight.
You didn't get a voucher already? They've already been handed out.
I've smoked a couple of cones outside McDonald's, but I've never eaten them.
Okay, Dwayne took all the cones and gave them to Timmy Tobin.
It's going to be Jack Newnes.
Timmy Tobin. Goodness
Puts it
me.
inside 50. Top of the goal square. No one over to mark for St Kilda. Here's Chris Mayne. Look away handball.
Oh,
spilled
goal.
down though. Spinning into goal. Jack Loney. Returned to the side this week. Just his second game of the year. And we have the first major of the night. St Kilda 1-1-7. Collingwood one behind that. A pancake parlour. Goal of the night.
Lovely.
Sam Newman, Robert Walls on 3AW football.
Well, the ball, Crisp kicked the ball out of bounds on the full. It was a really poor defensive kick, but the Saints have kicked it long to the top of the goal square, came to the front, and the little bloke Loney, Sam, able to hook it across his body. And that's a good start to the Saints. Did you know, Sam, they are the most inaccurate kicking team in the competition, St Kilda, so that's a nice start.
I'll tell you another thing too. The Saints, besides kicking 7 goals in the first half of the game against Brisbane in the first round, in the next 7 rounds they've only kicked 2 goals in half of football in every other game.
So Loney gets his first goal for the year, and it goes forward down looking for Marshall. Hollifer and Marshall, it wasn't on. Running onto it down there was Sinclair of the Saints. Ball, said the crowd in your boots, says the umpire, grabbing at Phillips for St Kilda. There's a scrimmage, and the umpire, Dean Margetsu, cross the Nullarbor, and Sam Newman's joined us here tonight.
I should have said an average of just over 2 goals in every half of football they've played this season, except for the first game.
Throw a blanket over 18 men, and Big Grundy got it out with the man bun, which I've got no hope of getting a scrimmage again. You'll need a bucket of water, and here's Darren James down there for McDonald's.
A couple of interchanges at the moment, Rex and team. We've got Jack Billings, who's ready to come on for the first time, looking good too.
Thank you very much, and it went off to Armitage. He was deballed. I was done that 15 years ago to prevent me breeding anymore. The ball came out of Pendlebury, and a long ball right over the top, and running down the other wing there was Don't Know. It's down towards the half-forward line for Awesome Wells, and Wells couldn't control it. Left half-forward flank, Central Business District is. Here's Robert Walls, and then Shane McGuinness at 3RW. Is, always will be football the other way round.
I don't know how old Dunno is, Rex, but he's been playing for a long while.
And he might win the Brownlow.
Boundary throw in, wing half forward for Collingwood, but coming up with it, Ross gave a quick little 1-2 to Sinclair, back to Ross. His kick smothered off the boot. Going forward now, Collingwood through Stevenson. Look away, handball to Chris. Been busy early. He's tackled. Did he have prior opportunity? The ball spills out. No free kick. This all left half forward for for Collingwood. Side bottom. Tried to nudge it forward. Stevenson had it, lost it. Ball spills to ground. Chris Mayne dives on top of it. Caulfield knocks it forward for St Kilda. Gives out a handball to Sinclair. Kicks out towards centre wing, but it's all Collingwood. Jeremy Howe, he just squares it up into the centre of the ground. It's going to be marked by Flynn Appleby.
So Stuart Appleby's son gets it out there, and it's a nice mark taken by Tommy Phillips, the screwdriver. He's on the left boot. He's down there, and he's just waiting. The umpire blows him on. That's not a good expression. It went in towards the centre of the ground for Mike Treloar. Treloar's got it. He's got the socks down. Pull him up and look like a footballer. So spinning goes the football in towards the South Melbourne market end, and Big Cox is there. Can't force his way into the gap. Running onto it to Gooey. Can't get it. The Saints are going to bring it out through Savage. Now it's going to be the Saints to bring it off the half-back line. Point to one of them will say David Caulfield. Now it's out towards the wing position, and the mark has been taken by Membray. And Membray now in front of...
50 metres.
Goodness me, in front of Darren James for McDonald's again.
Langdon ran too close to Membrane, so it'll be a 50-metre penalty.
Thanks for joining us, and the Saints are leading. They're 1-1-7 and Collingwood 1 behind 1 point. So this will bring Membrane, courtesy of a 50-metre penalty by umpire Dean Margetts, and he'll line it up, and Sam will explain to you, Shane, that this is one area of the game that's never improved.
Our umpiring, ruck work and kicking for goal never improved since the game was invented, and this will be a good example of why it hasn't improved.
1-5 last week, Sam. 1-5.
So Membray to the fish market end. He's kicked it off the side of the boot because he dropped it, Robert, and he leant backwards. And if you do that on the third at the National, it'll go into the swamp. Robert Walls and then Shane.
Well, he needs goals, Membrane, for his confidence, and there was a golden opportunity. Special comments.
How long have we known each other, Rex?
Robert thinks his name actually is Membrane.
Here's Scharenberg. Out of defensive 50. It's not a good kick. Cut off at half forward for St Kilda by Bailey Rice. Had a few possessions early. Squares it up. Armitage marks. Centre half forward for St Kilda. Loops a handball across to Savage. He in turn to Hunter Clark. Big booming kick. 52 metres out, but it's all Collingwood. Last line of defence going back. Fly to the ball. And Scharenberg took the mark, and I reckon there's going to be a 50-metre penalty as well.
Yeah, he got pushed over as he took the mark, Shane. So the umpire's giving a couple of 50 metres early just to show their authority.
That's the third 50 we've seen in 9 minutes of football as Scharenberg short to the point of the square. Crisp had plenty of it early.
Doesn't know Sam Kekovich.
Kicks toward right half forward.
Good
and now
body
Brodie
work.
Grundy, who's having a wonderful season in ruck for the Magpies.
I don't like him because my wife likes his man bun. I got no chance of doing that, and the ball goes in. And this is a man that doesn't have a Christian name. It's Taylor Adams. A long, long ball down towards Big Cox and going up this hickey. But awesome Wells! Awesome Wells! Oh, the Nashua Printer was Awesome Wells' specialty. He plucked it off the top like an apple and ran in and went bang. And Collingwood have got their their first, 117. St Kilda 128. That's on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. And get your medicine at Chemist Warehouse and the sunscreen by the cancer people. 50 plus. Magnificent.
Now, Sammy, paint the picture.
Well, I've been watching Mason Cox down there. Why he would spend most of his time in this first opening quarter, or the opening quarter, on the lead. He should be down around about the square so that when the ball is kicked quick enough to him, he doesn't have to fight 8 or 9 people. He is a tall man, can take a mark. He's a reasonably good kick. Why they don't exploit him, I have no idea.
Hickey flew early. Grundy palms it down to ground level, but it's Stephen who's able to extract for the Saints. Gave the handball to his skipper in Jaron Geary, who in turn linked up with Billings. Billings gave the handball across to Caulfield. Kicks up toward the wing, looking for Gresham. Not able to slide in and take the mark. Knocked away. Great diving effort there from Sam Murray, who's had a wonderful start to his career. Hasn't missed a game in his debut season. We'll see a boundary throw in centre wing out of side of the ground. It's St Kilda 128, Collingwood 117. Here's Rex Hunt on 3AW football.
Boundary umpire McCavity spinning back into play. Beautiful throw back and run out towards Weller. Sounds like Dakes. Weller. And the ball now on the centre wing for the Saints and trying to actually get it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Never forget Dakes at Princes Park when you and I were there when Pearce had come on and off. And I said, is Pearce on and Pearce off? He said Pearce off and he didn't work the next week. Here's Sam Newman.
And I've been still watching Mason Cox. Why he is on the 50-metre line when the ball is on Collingwood's half-forward line, I have no idea. If he got back in the square and they kicked it down to him smartly, he would probably take a mark. It'd be worth taking the risk.
You are right, Sam, because they've got Varco virtually at full forward and big fella Cox out on the 50-metre line.
What's he going to do if someone gets the ball? They're going to chip it to him. He's not there for that reason.
Knocked out by Big Reg Hickey of St Kilda. It went out now to Adams and a free kick. It's going to go to the man without a surname and Jack Stephen. So Stephen now, he looks like the wild man from Borneo and he'll come back in. Oh, play on, said the umpire, and Billings has kicked a long skew-if kick down towards the half-forward line. Punts away by the Magpie defence towards Billings again. Over the boundary line, Darren James down there for the Chemist Warehouse. What's happening, my friend?
Dr. Degui is on the bench along with Fasola, whose nickname down at the club is Do-Re-Mi.
Just complete the joke, DJ.
Fasola.
Thank you very much. 128 St Kilda. Collingwood 117. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard boundary throw-in. Taylor Adams comes up with it for the Magpies. Squares it to the centre corridor. 2-on-1 contest. The one was Tom Phillips. But it was infringed upon. Chopping of the arms.
Here
goes Sammy.
Oh, mate, that is a context. There's a virtual free kick every time 2 people go for the ball. For God's sake, just let them play a little.
Phillips short to Adams. Great to have Sam Newman alongside Robert Walls on 3RW footy tonight. Rex Hunt in his final game of football as Chris Mayne marks left half forward.
Final game broadcasting.
Well, it's your final game of football.
Well, I'm going to Blackburn in the grand final representing the Tobin brothers.
Chris Mayne goes short to Travis Varco. You call the goal.
No, you call the goal.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, besides, while you're arguing, you've just missed the most exciting part of play that's gone on this quarter.
Which was what?
Well, that man there, who I've got no idea who it is.
Travis Barco, he's a Geelong premiership player, Sam.
Right, well, I still don't know who he is.
So Travis Barco, 45-degree angle,
Can't kick, Sam.
49 metres out.
No, that is a disgrace. No, seriously. No, honestly and truly. Maybe the wind got it.
The wind.
For the record, roof closed at Etihad Stadium. 1-2-8 apiece. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. 3AW Saturday night footy for McDonald's.
This is savage. Get it to Jack Stephen. You were with your granddaughter the other night. Does she get wind, Sam?
I think it was a smile.
Thank you very much. So on the half-back line, the hand pass went over there towards, don't know, it's Loney. Now it's on towards the wing position with a long ball, and gee, that's a good mark out there. It went off now towards Membrane and in towards half forward.
Go long.
And now this is going to be Gresham. Gresham's long ball down towards the goal, and there's a mark beautiful to the man, Loney, who kicked his first goal of the year. A moment ago, he'll get his second, and Awesome Wells, Daniel Wells, has kicked his first goal of the year a moment ago. So Loney from point blank range. Would you put $1 on this that he'd get this?
He'll
Robert?
kick it, Rex. But the good thing is, St Kilda had two players inside their forward 50.
Spot on.
When they took the ball from the wing, this young fella bolted inside the forward 50 to.
And he's kicked a goal in his second. And on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, St Kilda 2-2, Richie, 2-2-14, Collingwood 1-2-8. And don't take this the wrong way, Darren James down there for McDonald's, but you're looking at Big Cox.
He's just come off, and he is big, let me tell you. He is so tall, even his nose gets frostbite.
And you're quite right, Robert. They are opening up their forward line, the Saints, but the Collingwood backs are playing like millionaires. They're paying little regard for the people they're meant to be on, and that's the third time that they've had 2 or 3 loose players there, and but for some inaccurate kicking, they'd be a little further ahead.
St Kilda 2-2-14, Collingwood 1-2-8. Go, Rob.
Yeah, well, the backmen just zone off. They don't play shoulder to shoulder, and it's good to see them get caught out now and again.
Hickey won it down, but it went straight to side bottom of Collingwood. Gives the handball off to Treloar. He in turn to main back to Treloar. Centre wing, city side of Etihad Stadium. Treloar on the left, up toward left half forward. Ball punched away from behind by Webster. Spilled down to Geary. Flicked a little handball out now to Nathan Brown. Brown off right half back for the Magpies. Kicks forward to centre. Waiting at the back, Scharenberg took it. Did well. Gives off a little handball. Collingwood just looked to maintain possession. Over the head of Grundy it goes. Hickey came up with it. Gresham spins out of trouble. Got away from the tackle of Adams, and now Gresham inside 50 and back with the flight of the ball. Strong mark taken by Tom Langdon inside defensive 50.
So Alison Langdon of Channel 9 News gets it out on the left half-back flank, and the Magpies looking to build down there with a long ball towards Hoskin Elliott. The Hyphens got it, hand pass over the top now to Main. The horse's Main, gets it off with a left-hand hand pass. Now it's side bottom, kicks it in towards Varco, and here comes Gooey. Dr. Gooey, he ran around and he's going to have a long shot for a goal. Magnificent play.
He's a star, this kid.
Magnificent play to Gooey. He's got a bit of muck on the pluck, and he's levelled the ledger here. And Collingwood, the Carringbush go to 2-2-14. St Kilda 2-2-14. McDonald's scoreboard. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Rexy scoreboard. 3AW football.
Good play, Sam. You've got to say that was pretty exciting.
Yes, hardly a structured piece of forward work by the Collingwood side, but Degui, as you say, is a star and very capable. And I'd say Cox has come off the ground because he's actually
sorry
fatigued.
about that. Are you ready, Gavin? Oh my goodness me, Prince Charles, that may have been a pancake parlour goal of the day.
Lovely.
Shane did my show when I was taking a rest with Lynn in the Indian Ocean last week. He gave away a pancake parlour and got into the crap. What's happening? I'll buy the pancake parlour for you bastards.
From the restart, St Kilda look to get the clearance. We are indeed incredibly. Ed Phillips, just his second game of footy, kicks up toward half forward for Collingwood. Plays dive around it, was for St Kilda rather.
Holding the ball. Collingwood free.
I wouldn't have thought there was any prior opportunity in that for Jack Billings, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of Flynn Appleby for the Magpies.
Let us know when we're on, will you? Because I won't bother talking when we're off.
Actually on here now.
We on
Sam.
now?
Yeah, we're just practicing.
Okay.
40 metres out from his defensive goal. Appleby to Lyndon Dunn. Outside of defensive 50 towards centre wing. Oh, great mark. Brodie Grundy over the shoulder of Rowan Marshall takes the grab.
Well, he's got no one to kick it to.
So Grundy, still defensive side of the wing, Dockland side of the ground, opts to go short, and Tom Phillips.
He's got no tall options, so they're going to chip.
It's exactly what they do. Josh Thomas takes the mark. 2-2-14 apiece, St Kilda and Collingwood, Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. 18 gone opening term, 3AW Saturday night footy. Josh Thomas kicks toward right half forward, but it's all St Kilda back there. Here's Ed Phillips. Short little handball, gave it off to Dunstan, certainly ran further than he probably should have. Now Gresham, back to Ed Phillips, working in a phone box at the moment. Ball comes towards centre wing. Tom Langdon tackled, intercepting. Wells delivers inside 50. Hoskin Elliott unable to take the mark. Ross had it. Look away handball. Comes down to Caulfield. He gave it to Billings. Billings flicks it clear. Gave it to Jack Stephen, and they're out here now, St Kilda.
Wagons. Oh, thanks, Robert. Down towards the half forward, and Membray's got it. My goodness gracious me, he has some shots at goal, but he actually leans back, Sam, and doesn't transfer his weight like he would with a 5 on the third at National.
Well, we'll give him some leeway here. This is a 60-metre kick by the time he delivers it and gets it over the man on the mark, because he's behind the 50-metre line, so it'll have to be a very well-struck kick.
Well, just show what you showed on the Channel 9 footy show with some copper idiot kicking it over to the goal umpire's hat at the Fish Market or Berrowillick end. Membray, he's gone off it again and he leant back. Yeah. My goodness gracious me. Transfer the weight, son, or you'll get the ass. This is 3AW football. It went behind the stick. You might as well give me a stick there, Gavin. Hello, Mr. Post.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
St Kilda 2-3-15, lead by a point. Collingwood 2-2. Richie shortly to Darren James.
So Tim Membry, from his last 8 shots at goal, has 1 goal 7.
He pushes them to the right.
Yeah, because he leans back, Robert.
Dunn out toward left half back. Langdon was taken high, got the free kick. Collingwood takes the advantage. Treloar to Wells, put Treloar back under trouble. Treloar looked to give it back to Wells. He couldn't take it. Chris Mayne was taken high and will get the free kick.
Treloar's a terrific player, but he had to stop because he had no one to kick it to, so he's done the handball over his head. I tell you, he's a really skillful player, and good to see him out there now is Daniel Wells.
Mayne came back into the side, back in round 6. Held his spot since then. Gives the handball off to Jeremy Howe. High ball inside 50 for Collingwood. De Goey over the back. Couldn't mark. Overrunning the ball for Collingwood was Phillips. Ball at right half forward at the moment for the Magpies, but it's St Kilda with numbers as Nathan Brown clearing kick off left half back. Going back, fly to the ball. Unable to take the mark was Lyndon Dunn. And we'll see a boundary throw in. Darren James right in front of you.
I'm sitting about 7 foot away from Alan Richardson, the coach of St Kilda. Very little emotion from the coach. He's got to his feet once. A mate of mine went to China for the China match. He found out, you know what they call Chinese food in China?
What?
Just food. Just food.
Really, fair enough. The ball's spinning back.
China.
It's going to be, there was an interference to Big Cox. So he's on the right wing position. A little chip kick, goodness gracious me, to Ross Stevenson. Ross Stevenson took the mark and hand pass back to Howe. He got it onto Pendlebury, back to Howe. Look away, hand pass to Treloar. The only problem is Treloar was looking away. You idiot. It went to Pendlebury. Now back to Howe now. Now the Magpies are going to get a long ball going. No, a short one by Appleby towards the half forward. The Saints are under pressure. They got numbers there. Bang, a sling tackle, and the umpire will bottle it up. And don't forget at half-time, Shane Warne, head-to-head, which is a usually loose term because Shane Warne and Sam Newman are going to talk about Elizabeth Healy.
I think it was Healy, yeah. Healy's the other bloke.
Right. Now
Travis Varco is a terrific tackler, but he's got to be a little bit careful he doesn't do the sling tackle because he would have got away with it years ago, but not now.
Ball thrown up, centre half forward for Collingwood. Murray was taken high by Ross for mine. No free kicks. Spilled down to Pendlebury. Now a high ball inside 50. Back fly to the ball for Solo. Couldn't mark. Coming across from the side. Surely a free kick to Will Hoskin Elliott, and will be.
Well, Hoskin Elliott's become a pretty good player for the Pies. Kicked 13 goals this year and just knows where to go. Hope Fasola has a good game, Rex. You know he's my next door neighbour.
No.
And his dog almost savaged mine through the week. True story.
Well, I wouldn't be saying that too much, Robert. He hasn't had a stat.
Will Hoskin Elliott, 10 metres out, goal. Fairly even matchup early on here at Etihad Stadium. The Magpies 3-2-20. St Kilda 2-3-15. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard 23 gone first quarter on 3AW footy. A pleasure to say Sam Newman and Robert Walls.
Now, I know this is living in the past, but 20 years ago the average possessions a game were 250. Now they're 400. And that last piece of play down in front of us when Cox chipped it out to the wing here, it was handled, I reckon, 10 times by Collingwood, and it went no more than 20 metres.
Shane McGuinness will give us an update at Harbourside. Apparently there's a bit happening up there in the goals department, Shane. That's what Craig Moore told
Swans
me.
winning easily, Rex.
Thank you.
Throwing me under the bus.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times before. It's not how you go under, it's how you come out. The ball now in the hands there of Savage. The wild man to the right half forward flank. Going up there and not taking the mark was Gresham over the boundary line and out of bounds. And Sam, you're not going to admit it, but you're actually having a nice, lovely time here tonight.
Don't be too hasty.
All right, what's happening in the wedding? Are they just getting dressed now, or what's happening? Is Prince Charles saying hello to Mummy? But anyhow, we'll get back to on that. Now it's knocked out over there by Tony Short. No, it's side bottom, number 22, sorry. The ball came out now with a hand pass across the Saints. Phillips has a long ball touch behind the stick. And it's a minor score, and St Kilda go to 2-4-16. They're 4 points behind Collingwood, 3-2-20, and Darren James here tonight for the Chemist Warehouse.
And we've just got Grundy on the boundary line here, limbering up. He's had a bit of a break of a minute and a half and about to come back on.
Quickly around the grounds, Sydney leading Fremantle by 15 points, 3-1-19 to the Dockers, an ordinary 4 behinds. Of course, Fremantle thumping St Kilda last week at Optus Stadium as Cox just decides to handball it off.
My God, Father,
Murray.
look at that. Look at this. Look at this.
Goes one way, then the other.
I know you can't look at it because it's radio.
They work in a phone box.
Oh, that is extraordinary.
Langdon has kicked it straight
No, seriously.
to Phillips.
50 metres.
That's called coach sacking, Shane.
50 metres against side bottom. Went over the mark by a metre. So that's 450 metres, Rex, already.
You have got
Take
to,
me through it, Sammy. Take me through it.
You've got to see this now. Cox, he took a nice mark and he hand passed it, just gave it to, I don't know who, but he gave it to someone. And they proceeded to chip the ball around until there's an old saying in football, more you possess the ball, the more chance you have of losing it. And they exactly lost it, got a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah.
And if this is not a goal, St Kilda may as well pack it in.
Here's Ed Phillips. He's on the House of Wellness tomorrow at AW. Here's Shane.
45
he
degree
led
angle.
back.
He's put it out of bounds on the full. May
This
not,
is
in
doing
fact,
me
get
in.
a score.
Oh, Robert.
Hold on. We're going to get a score review. Are we going to get a mark?
It's a free kick to St Kilda.
It's going to be a free kick. My apologies.
Don't apologise. We're not.
I'm trying to be accurate, doing my best.
Well, let's see.
In the forward pocket.
Now
For St Kilda, right forward pocket. Go.
Let's see if it's a legitimate free kick for a start.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ. Seriously. Oh, my God, Father.
Sam, in our day, we would have ended up with 20 free kicks a game.
That is extraordinary.
Marshall, the free kick.
Oh, my
Hooks
God,
it back.
he's missed that.
It's hit the post.
It's hit the post. It's a Wilbur post.
Hello.
There
he is.
7-second alone.
Does that resonate with your ex that
Sam.
when there is a virtual free kick every time two people go for the ball, it is not necessary to pay every single one of them?
So Collingwood by 3 points on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, and here's the umpire. He's going to do the pirouette, and St Kilda are gone, and it's a free kick out there to Langdon. So Alison Langdon, National 9 News, has got it on the left half-back flank at the remand set aside. They better build another one for those paramedic bashers. Here comes Sahau now, Brown Cow. Gets it across there to the River Murray. Murray now brings it out towards the half-back line and over the boundary line, right in front of Johnny Farnham on 3AW Football.
G'day, mate. This is John Farnham, and on behalf of Glenn, it's great to be at the game. Even though I follow North Melbourne.
Ball just forward of centre wing for St Kilda. The Saints 2-5-17. Collingwood 3-2-20 if you're just tuning in. 3AW Saturday night footy. Rex's final call. There might be good reason for it as well.
You better believe it.
Sam Newman, Robert Walls here too. From the boundary throw, and it's going to be a free kick. Holding the ball, incorrect disposal. It's going to go to Sam Murray. Sweeps the handball across to Ross. Kicks up toward left half forward. Langdon was there. Ball punched away from him by Loney, and we'll see a boundary throw in left half forward for St Kilda, Lockett end of Etihad Stadium.
Collingwood's best endeavours to keep St Kilda in this game. Some of their football is extraordinary. Extraordinary. No one on one half of the ground, no one on forward of the centre for Collingwood. Where is Cox? Down somewhere at centre half forward to be good, just in case someone gets the ball in some vertical black and white striped jumpers.
Over the shoulder free kick to Hickey. His kick touched off the boot.
Be
honest, folks, it's a pretty ordinary game as Treloar kicks forward to centre. Fasolo went with the flight of the ball, but Geary took the mark. Geary gives the handball off in turn to Caulfield. Kicks up toward right half forward. Can St Kilda get something out of this? Here's Rowan Marshall. Delivers inside 50. And the man finding a little bit of space Inside 50 is Jack Nunes on not quite a 45-degree angle, but 45 metres out.
Nice kick by Marshall. He spotted him up with about a 35-metre hard, low, flat drop punt. Just the sort of ball you want coming to you if you're a forward.
Yeah, Sam nearly won the Brownlow in 1975. I tell you what, if he'd got half the free kicks that these blokes get, he would have won the Brownlow by the length of whatever the length is.
Now here's a relatively easy shot for a professional footballer.
45-degree angle, right on the arc of 50.
There
the drop punt on its way. Sam Newman pleased about it. Jack Nunes gets his first goal of the night. St Kilda get their third and they hit the front. 3-5. 23, Collingwood 3-2, 20, Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Well, I suppose the law of averages would say that if you have as many shots as you like, you'll eventually get some of them. That was a great kick, and as Rex said, he actually had his balance nicely. It went straight through the centre, and interestingly, Brown and Rice are alternating on Mason Cox. I do not understand why Mason Cox is not, I'm not going to say this again for the rest of the game, I don't understand why he's not a pivotal point down on the Collingwood forward line, someone to kick it to.
So Sam Newman for McDonald's soft serve cones tonight, approaching the quarter time hooter. And the ball now towards the centre of the ground, and running through there was Thomas of Collingwood. He can't get it. The hand pass came out there from side bottom. Now running around there is Pendlebury. Pendlebury tries to go long to DeGuy. Punched away off the top of the foot. Bloody Jock Ross! Jock Ross there of the Milpera Chainsaw Massacre went outside towards the half-back line, and the Saints are away. Here it comes now with Steele, the man of steel, a long ball to the centre wing, but Collingwood can clean up here. And this is Sharon Bird, and very, very close in towards the centre of the ground. At 7.5 back, it's going to be Langdon. Get it in towards Pendlebury again. One last roll of the dice with 19 seconds to go. So Pendlebury, the captain courageous, one of the great players of the Carringbush, goes bang with a spinning ball. The Big Cox! He can't do it. And Big Cox was interfered with. He was pulled off the pack. And Big Cox will line it up from 40 metres out. And I think it might be after the siren.
Well, Pendlebury, he thought about where am I going to kick this, and he saw Cox, the big fella, and he said, I'm going to kick it to him.
That's it.
And the thing about Cox, because he's 6'11" in the old Sam, because he's so big, opposition players, as the ball comes in, they panic a little bit, so they do infringe, and he will get a couple of free kicks again.
So the siren will go.
Pretty soft.
And Big Cox from 40 metres out. He'll dob this. So bye, Miss American Pie, for a point. Goodness gracious me. So at quarter time in the 3AW match of the night, St Kilda will lead it by 2 points, 3-5-23, and Collingwood 3-3-21 for St Kilda. Loney is kicked 2 and Nunes 1 for Collingwood. Wells, DeGuy and Hoskin Elliott. That is all the goal scorers.
Chemist Warehouse bringing you that opening quarter. It's mayhem at Chemist Warehouse with all the big brand vitamins and cosmetics now at half price. 3AW Saturday night footy coming to you from Etihad Stadium. The final call, 50 years of EFL, AFL footy. Rex's final night, still another 3 quarters to go. And if the first is anything to go by, you're in for an entertaining night. This, with thanks to McDonald's, is 3AW football. St Kilda by 2 points at quarter time, 3-5-23 to Collingwood 3-3-21. 3AW Saturday night footy with thanks to McDonald's. Rex has warmed himself up, 1 quarter down, 3 to go. Robert Walls and Sam Newman on 3AW footy, but let's get down to ground level where we find Darren James.
One of the things I've noticed from both teams is the amount of ink, the amount of tattoos. Now, in the day that you guys were playing, there was Wow Jones and Stu McGee with only 2 with tattoos?
There were not many, and if you had tats, you were considered pretty tough.
Yeah.
Insightful.
Now it's exactly the opposite.
Second quarter about to get underway here at Etihad Stadium. Saints to the Coventry end.
Hey, Sam,
they lead by 2 points.
Sam, are you in favour of the umpire bouncing the ball, or do you want it thrown up?
No, I like it being bounced. That's an integral part of our unique game.
That it was bounced. Grundy went early. Hickey won it down.
I've got a feeling you don't.
Knocked it back to Grundy. Wolsey?
Well, if they could bounce it properly, too many times the game stops and they recall it for my liking.
Ball inside defensive 50 for St Kilda. Geary handballs it off. Webster kicks to left half back, and Loney marks. Handball to Savage. Handball it straight back to Loney. Kicks off left half back. Mark taken on centre wing as the Saints look to build. They're 3-5-23, Collingwood 3-3-21. Second quarter brought to you by Tyre Power as the Saints go all the way back inside defensive 50. Webster short to Stephen as Stephen kicks to the wing. Rex will be back in a moment. Stephen short to Nunes, but he crossed the paint. And we'll see a boundary throw in right on centre wing.
Caller in from the Royal Wedding who was keen on the game in China this afternoon. And sir, did you appreciate Port Adelaide or the Gold Coast?
Gold Coast.
Thank you very much. And the ball now spinning back into play. Knocked out by Grundy. It came out to Dunstan. Mocker Dunstan. Higher than Joe Cocker. Nearly hit the roof.
Ooh.
Right over the top, Jeremy Howe. It came down now and a hand pass by Armitage. Now into Jock Ross of the Milpera Chainsaw Massacre. It went out now towards Geary. Geary to the left half forward flank, and the Saints are going to go up and take a mark. Don't know.
Get it in.
Thank you very much. A long ball spinning in towards a big move by Webster. He can't take it. Billings fell over. Now it came out to Membray. It went back now to Nunes. It's a goal! Nunes has kicked a goal. He's got two. He's got two, Nunes. And the Saints are doing okay on 4-5-29 to Collingwood 3-3-21. And that is all on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Robert Walls joining us tonight on 3AW Football.
Well, they kept the ball alive, Sam, the Saints. There were 2 or 3 times they got tackled, but they kept putting it out in a bit of space, and finally Nunes was able to get the quick kick through a couple of pies.
Now, Robert, the Saints have at least manufactured some reasonable forward line structure. They've had plenty of personnel down on the forward line when they looked like they've been going into attack, unlike Collingwood, who have left their forward half of the ground bare on occasion. So the Saints at least trying to have some structure.
Seb Ross leading stats getter on the ground for Corrimal Windsor Caravans. He's got 10. Ball still in the centre of Etihad Stadium as Stephen sweeps out a handball. Loney been good tonight. He in turn gave the quick handball off to Ross. His kick smothered off the boot. Picked up on centre wing by Varco. Kicks up toward right half forward. Running fly to the ball. Wells will go back and take his kick. 55 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Varco,
back to the edge of the centre square. Go, Rob.
Varco amazing. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Side bottom to Crisp. Floats the ball to the top of the goal square. Hoskin Elliott dropped what he probably should have taken. And St Kilda will control it inside defensive 50 through Dunstan.
Just a terrific smother by Varco. Followed it up with a really good bump and then set Wells up with a neat pass.
Wells now underhand hand pass went out towards Trelaw. He was pulled off the footy in the mark. I don't know whether that was. No, Main took a mark and it went to Sidebottom, and Sidebottom got it out there towards Travis Barco. The Collingwood player brought it across his body, and Big Cox was there, and he dropped it like a hot whatever it is.
Potato.
Thank you very much, Robert. Read my lips, no bush. Off the half-back line. Stack the cook and hold my calls. And the umpire said no. And Hugh Worth is on the line because there's a seagull trapped inside the roof. We're going to get the seagull out. Don't worry about the 45,000 rear. Get the seagull. He's freedom.
Ball thrown up. Ball at right half forward.
Rex is thrown up.
For Collingwood.
Well, he just ate 3 pies.
Taylor Adams tackled, didn't dispose of it correctly. It'll be a free kick to the Saints in the left back pocket.
They were left over from Tony this afternoon.
Dunstan gives a quick little handball off. Sinclair. He in turn to Ross. Ross now gave it back to Bailey Rice on debut. Kicks up towards centre wing, holding infringement. Saints take the advantage. Here's Jack Stephen, handballs forward to centre. Gave it to Mav Weller. He in turn gave a handball to Loney, but the delivery inside 50, not as desired. And Scharenberg back fly to the ball. Marks in the back pocket, goes short to Phillips. Phillips gives the handball off to Sam Murray. He's out through the centre of the ground.
This is Sidebottom, and he nearly got scalped by the seagull on towards the left half forward. Where's Awesome Wells? But dropping the football, goodness me, was Horskin Elliott. Kicked a long goal down towards the queue. He can't get it. And off the top of the packet, Special Fried Rice, Junior Special Fried Rice. And over the boundary line it went. No, it was play on.
That's a good mark.
And that is a good mark. And a beauty there.
Phillips.
By Ed Phillips on House of Wellness tomorrow morning with Darren. No, Darren is not on that. Gerald Quigley is. Now off the half-back line, it's Dunstan. A worm-burning mongrel finger breaker went out to Dunn, and Dunn now gave it to Trelaw, and it went back further afield. A long ball in towards by Crisp. He doesn't know who Sam Kekovich is, but now it's going to be Brown against his former side. Get it across the top there to Boogie Webster. Webster gets it out now, and the Saints are away. It's a long ball down there by Loney. Here's a go now on the Saints have got it on the left wing position. It's Membray.
Membry gives a quick little handball to Loney. Little toe poker forward as well as slides in to take the mark against the boundary line between wing and half forward for St Kilda. They've been dominating this quarter, Collingwood, but can't get the scores on the board. Kick inside forward 50 for the Saints. Comes off a pack. It's going to bounce, bobble and go out of bounds. And a throw in 53 metres around from goal for the Saints.
Well, they've been dominating the quarter, but I know it's a while ago, but the last shot Collingwood had on goal, it was from 50. He transferred it, one of the players, to another man on the 50, and the bloke kicked it back to someone who was 55 metres out, and he never made the distance.
Alex Fasolo in his first game of the year, yet to touch the footy tonight.
He lives next door to Robert.
Ball move forward for Grundy.
He does.
Maybe that's the problem. Side bottom kicks up toward right half forward, and it's out of bounds on the full.
He keeps telling me to turn the music down.
Could you imagine when I played against these brutal people in the 60s, that one had spent half his life in France and the other one at the 39th floor overlooking the peasants of Melbourne Docklands?
Bailey Wright has the free kick in his back pocket. 29 plays 21
on the
in favour of the Saints.
On the Fisherman's Friend scoreboard, if in doubt, suck a Fisherman's Friend. Don't get into trouble. And on the half-forward line, here's Collingwood. It went out now towards Stevenson. Ross Stevenson tries to get it around. Head pass to Phillips of Collingwood. It's a goal to Collingwood, I reckon. It's the Gooey. It's the Gooey. And the Gooey, Dr. Gooey, who brought me into the world in 1949, and when I was born they slapped my mother. And de Gooey, his second goal. And on the
Tyre
Power scoreboard, Collingwood are 4-3-27. They trail St Kilda by 2 points. And the giggler in the back is Sam Newman, who looks over the Docklands and says, I've done well in life. Well, particularly after I bailed Fred Cook out.
Well, they've kicked 4 goals, Colin, but 3 of them have been hardly due to any structured forward play. They've been haphazard shots at goal. De Gooey, thank heavens, has kicked 2 of them. Both of them snaps, not from any real form of making sense of what a forward line should be.
We'll go around the ground shortly, check in on Sydney, but the Swans in control up at the SCG over the Dockers. Grundy delivers inside 50. Varco wrestles 1, wrestles 2. Picked up by Hunter Clark. Gave a little handball out. Billings, his handball. Errant doesn't go to anyone in particular as it's taken out of bounds by Bailey Ross, and a boundary throw in right forward pocket.
Is that Ben Doon, Rex, throwing it in?
No, just a minute. I've got the glasses on him. It's actually Philip McCrevis.
Right forward pocket for the Magpies. 29 plays 27 in favour of the Saints. Been even all night. Margin hasn't been greater than a goal. Picked up now by Pendlebury. Gives a little handball. Josh Thomas hooks it back over his shoulder. Back with the flight of the ball to go. He didn't have enough to put. He might have been taken high. He was.
Oh my God. He dropped the mark before anything else happened. This is extraordinary.
So De Goey gets the free kick, top of the goal square, because he took the mark on the goal line, the free kick. You've seen the replay, Sam. The goal is there, but take us through the replay.
Oh, good. I'm just going to say again, every time 2 people go for a contest, there is a virtual free kick. That he had dropped the ball and then maybe infringed, but it was after the ball.
Now, Shane, can you give us a few of the leading stats players, please?
Luke Dunstan leading for the Saints, Rob. He's got 13. 12 to Seb Ross. 10 apiece to Loney and Stephen. While for the Magpies, side bottom leading the way with 10. 9 apiece to Pendlebury, Howe and Chris.
Is this the technology that made Bondi redundant?
This is Bondi
He used to bring in the coloured pencils and used to not miss one kick or hand pass. Or he never missed a softball grab.
Bondi is now an IBM.
Because Bondi is NFG. Ball now back in the centre of the ground, and Collingwood have hit the front by 4 points, and here they come again. The hand pass went over the top. It was looking down there for Phillips. He can't get it. Stacks on the mill. Now Jack Stephen came out, and the umpire will come in and throw it, and Robert Wall's here tonight.
I like Phillips, Collingwood's Tim Phillips. He's going to be a very good player for them. Plays on the wing, uses the ball well.
Knocked out by the big fellow in towards Murray's hands, and Collingwood bring it around through Pendlebury. Long ball in towards Big Cox. The big American Pie can't take it. Off the half-back line, the Saints are under pressure. Collingwood trying to build again through side bottom. He was pulled off the ball, but he kicked a long ball down, and Geary will rush the football behind the stick. And Collingwood are pumping to the Remand centre end. 5-3-33, 4-5-29. Darren James down there for the Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, seen the Pies play every match this year, boys, and they don't seem to have the endeavour or the hard tackling I've seen in other matches.
Rob, while it's even on the scoreboard, it hasn't been the highest class of football by any stretch of the imagination. That's right, Shane. Thanks, Rob.
Well picked up, Shane.
Jack Stephen kicks toward right
They're
half
paying
forward.
you the big bucks.
Armitage.
Thanks, Rob. Now you can commentate for me as well. Kick toward goal, offline to the right, and a minor score to the Saints there. 4-6-30. Collingwood 5-4-34. Collingwood by 4 points. Type our scoreboard.
I got a question for you, Rex and Sam. Ponder it for a while before you answer. What decade do you think football was at its best?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm more decade than those decades. But anyhow, I'll get back to you. And here comes a long ball. And that was Fasolo, who's got his first mark. Hey, he lives next door to Robert, mate, so don't you open your big mouth. That's enough pressure for the man himself. So what does he, D'Lo Ramo, do? What does he, Darren?
His nickname is Do Re Mi.
Okay, shut up. The ball into hands of Awesome Wells to De Gooey for his fourth.
Okay, De Gooey
his
on
fourth
the
goal,
end.
De Gooey. Pay him the big bucks and he'll do the job.
Well, he's received half of them have been just Joe the Goose, Rex.
Yeah, the last three he's kicked, Robert.
Yeah, I know that.
Your man just got his first kick who lives next door to you.
Well, he set it up. How many kicks has De Gooey had? I reckon he might have only had 4.
Yeah, he's had 8. 8 disposals.
Well,
I said
that was his
fifth. That was his fifth kick, Rob.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's kicked 4 goals. 2 of them have been snaps. He was given that one, mind you. Let's not knock it, but he's been alternating. Brown and Rice have been alternating on De Gooey.
De Gooey did 9 kicks.
I would say
9 and
maybe
Robert,
the 90s or the 80s into the 90s.
Yeah, 80 to 90. But
I reckon the 80s.
Robert would
Well,
be still too
yeah.
whingy to give him 3 votes if he got 10 goals tonight.
I reckon the 80s.
Biggest lead of the night.
What do you
Collingwood
reckon,
by
Rex?
10 points.
Yeah, the 80s. I can't remember before then. So the ball out of the centre of the ground and Treloar is over the top and he flicked it out. And coming through Geary. Can't get it either. Savage. And now Stacks over the mill. Throw a blanket over 20. The hand pass
Without
by
a doubt.
Phillips of Collingwood. Hand pass by Pendlebury. Hand passed on further. Looking for Awesome Wells. But running onto it over there is Savage. The wild man Savage pushed in the back. Now Treloar got his second possession. But Grundy fell over the hair bun man. He fell over his bun. And the centre half forward, the Saints are going to clear it, are they, through Clark, and he hand passed it off, but it was smothered, and the umpire said Clark got one over the side of the ear, and he'll bring it on and get it onto the man with no surname, and this is Jack Stephen.
So Jack Stephen gets it off the bounce on centre wing, easily stepped around. Sam Murray delivers inside 50. Great running effort from Jack Nunes to cut the angle, take the mark on a 45-degree angle, about 45 metres out at the Coventry end.
And once again, the Saints, streaming into attack, at least had some people to kick the ball to, and that was cut off by that man there who is...
Nunes?
Jesus, who?
Jack Nunes.
I tell you, Fasolo's in big trouble down there, Darren. Tell us what's happened.
Yeah, look, he's looking a bit proppy. It looks as though he's got a dog bite to his left calf.
Nunes comes in to take the kick. Slide angle from just outside 50. It's a nice looking drop punt, but it misses.
No, it's not.
Just to the inside.
Oh, goodness.
Minor score to the Saints. 9-point ball game. St Kilda 4-7-31. Collingwood 6-4-40. All that Tyre Power scoreboard. Here's Rex.
So thank you very much, Grundy. Tried to take a one-handed mark, and he's actually going to be paid. It's going to be infringement against Reg Hickey. Hickey got over the top of his shoulder. I said Sam Newman got 20 free kicks in the first half at Kardinia Park in 1941. The ball came out to Treloar, and now Pendlebury. He got it off now, and hand passed by Phillips, and ended up with a long ball by Thomas of Collingwood to the left half forward flank. He was looking for someone down there. That's holding the ball, surely. Into correct disposal, picked up by Ross Stevenson, and Ross Stevenson has kicked a goal! Oh, Roscoe and John in the morning, you stars! Ross Stevenson has got another one for Collingwood, and they're really humping and pumping here today. Collingwood 7-4-46 and Kilda 4-7-31.
Stevenson's tackle was a beauty on the 50-metre line, dispossessed his St Kilda opponent, won the free kick, but then the kid, he's got a pretty sharp brain. He said, I'm going to play on. If I play on, I reckon I'm a chance to make the distance. And he did that. It just got over the line, but wearing the famous number 35, Jaden Stevenson, I think he's going to be a 200-game player. He's a beauty.
The famous 35 could run even time with his knuckles on the ground.
Here I was thinking for all these years it was huffing and puffing. Sydney.
Was it what I say?
Something very different.
Well, that's only a memory, Shane.
Sydney leading the Dockers 7-3-45 to Fremantle 1-6-12.
Don't forget at half time, Shane Warner's going to join us head to head, and we're going to give him a nice spray. And the spray is of Chocolatier chocolates and Robert scorched almonds. And if you ever want to see a bloke get the brace and bits when Warnie walks out with the scorched almonds, take a photo of that, Sam, on your phone.
Been plenty of comedy tonight, but Shane Warne joining us at half time on 3AW Football.
This is a straight call. You want a bit of comedy, do you?
I'll tell you what, Gresham. His kick smothered off the boot. Ball ricochets down to Loney. He now to Savage. Savage delivers inside 50. Nunes again. Waiting at the back. Tom Langdon asking if he was pushed in the back, but the umpire not having a bar of it. And now Jack Nunes to go back and line up for his third goal of the night. So at one end, DeGoey has 4. At this end, Nunes going for his third.
If ever there's a moment like there was across the Nullarbor with Membray last week, Nunes now as a senior player, he has to kick this goal. There is no place for a Scheisenhausen kick.
And technically speaking, he pushed him in the back because he was leaning on his back. But for heaven's sake.
Nunes for his third. Slight angle.
There you are.
45 out. He's got 3. 3 to Jack Nunes. It's all right, Rexy. I knew.
It's the arthritis, mate.
7-4-46. St Kilda. 5-7-37. All that tyre power scoreboard. 18 gone second quarter. Robert Walls and Sam Newman on 3AW Footy.
Got a question for you, Rex.
Yes.
50 years in football. You played, 15 and commentated 35?
Played 11 and commentated 39.
Who was the favourite player for you to call?
Oh, no, please.
So, umpire Darren Goldspink has this air conveyance, and out of the centre, Burke to Buse, and here comes Blade. Hello, we on air? We are, actually. So, the Saints get one back through Nunes. It was knocked out there by Grundy. Here he comes again. The free kick is going to go to Collingwood in the centre of the ground to a man that has no Christian name. So it's Taylor Adams. Gets a long ball down towards the big Grundy man and coming through. Oh, Webster. He was de-balled, so to speak. Lost possession. Webster again. Got it off to Brown. Brown, B-R-O-W-N. And the umpire said, give it to me. And we'll go straight down to the ground to Darren James.
Yeah, Alex Fazzola has gone straight down to the race. Did not prop at the bench, and he's yet to be seen.
So ball at right half forward at the moment for Collingwood. Picked up by DeGoey, hooks it back inside 50. Mason Cox went under the ball instead of trying to trap it. Allows St Kilda, last line of defence through Gresham. Kicks across the face of goal, and it's marked by Nick Caulfield.
Megan's on her way to the church, Shane, and we'll have to ask Shane if she's still with Elizabeth. Would he maybe in the second row next to Mummy?
Caulfield, can't wait for that question to be asked and for Shane's answer as well. Shane Warne coming up, half-time on 3AW Footy. Billings couldn't complete the mark, had time to recover, but the kick, ordinary at best. Marked on the wing by Chris, gave a quick little handball off, gave it to Dunn. Dunn kicks forward, comes up to... no, it's a free kick to Daniel Wells.
He'll use it.
Wells just forward to centre. Inside 50, leaping into the air. Beautiful mark from Will Hoskin-Elliott, who takes it in the right forward pocket.
She should have walked down the aisle with one of the corgis. That would have got their attention.
Particularly if it had unloaded on the red carpet.
Do you watch Suits, Sam?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
You what?
And the cast.
You watch Suits?
All the cast are there.
Are they?
Which is good. I thought Lewis...
Just chat amongst yourself, boys.
Will Hoskin-Elliott.
Lewis could have walked it down the aisle.
45 metres out. Drop punt on its way. Oh, did Mason Cox get enough of it? He wanted to claim the mark. The umpire says
Shane Warne's
Did Sally at any stage suggest to you, Shane, that you might call in sick tonight?
Shane Warne's a very big
fan
of Suits. He's been on the set with them.
I like the show.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, no.
Or Harvey. Harvey's a good-looking bloke.
Harvey, yeah, my word. Harvey Spectre.
At least should have gotten overtime, but that's not going to happen.
People
all on centre
trying
wing.
to twiddle the dials to say, what channel are we on?
This is 3AW Football for the record, and it's not 1995 for those wondering. Ball on centre wing. Dunn tries to trap it against the boundary line. It goes out. Score check, tyre power scoreboard. St Kilda 5-7-37. Collingwood 7... 7-5-47. All that for Tyre Power. 20 gone, second quarter.
Thank you very much, Shane. Lovely to have you as our host tonight. And the ball now spinning back into play. Jock Ross, Milpera Massacre, went out the side bottom. He was pulled off the football, went to Grundy. Grundy kicked a long spinning ball to the right half forward in towards the half forward line. But the mark has been taken over there by Caulfield. And Caulfield now hand pass it back to Webster. Now it's a little chip kick over the top. And now this will be Caulfield who made space into that area. He's got it again, David Caulfield, and he came out. And the mark has been taken by Special Fried Junior Rice. Young Rice, the son of Dean Rice, the legend. And now it's a little chip kick, a Chip Legrand kick, and gets it out to Clark. So Clark now chips it over the top to Nunes, and Nunes marks it back to Clark. Clark ran a compliment, kicked it past Darren James. A long ball down, and there was a mark by Membray. Membray here passed it off. Got it to Armitage, got it to Billings, got it to Savage. Long ball down, and here it is. They're going to kick a goal through Stresham. That was a magnificent transportation of the air conveyance. Bang, 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 goal. Simple as that. Sam Newman on 3W with Robert Walls.
Well, I think that's about the third time. I said in the first quarter that the Collingwood backs were playing like millionaires. There was no one within a bull's roar of that player. Who was it?
Gresham.
And they're probably going to win the game, Collingwood, but it will be in spite of themselves. They're a better side. They've won 4 games. St Kilda won. They're just on their haunches, St Kilda, but they're hanging in there with some pretty ordinary football, although we're remaining positive and objective.
St Kilda, just the one win, as you said, Sam, for the year. Collingwood 4-4 coming into round 9. 43 plays 47 in favour of the Magpies. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the half. Shane Warne coming up on 3AW footy and the half-time break as side bottom. Looked to get a handball out, only went as far as Rowan Marshall. He in turn gave it to Bailey Rice. High ball inside 50, but leaping over the back, as he so often does, is Jeremy Howe to mark. 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Switches it to the City side. Underneath it, Main for Collingwood. Punched away from him by Sinclair. And that's not a bad result for the Saints, because we'll see a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for St Kilda.
And Darren James is down there for McDonald's soft serve cones.
Fazzola back on the bench, and I love suits like you guys. That Lewis reminds me of Shane Healy. What are your thoughts?
Yes.
I'm not going to watch it.
I can see that. I can see that.
What's it all about, Priest, is it?
You know who he looks like more than Shane Healy? Steve Price.
Oh, the poor thing. The ball now off the half-back line. This is side bottom. Gets it out now towards the River Murray. Murray dropped it, and he dropped it again. He dropped the bloody thing. This is like suits. It's a joke. Now it's going to be a long ball down towards the half-forward line by Webster. He can't get it. Now it's a hand pass right over the top by Savage. Savage got it off now, and now he's going to go bang with a low trajectory kick, but it's a 2-on-1. Nearly a wonderful mark by Alison Langdon of 60 minutes, and the ball went over the boundary line, and Darren James down there again. It's very busy down there.
Oh, lots of interchange. Scharenberg just on. Fazzola sitting there. He's got a pronounced limp. That's L-I-M-P, pronounced limp.
Got a question for you, Darren.
Yeah.
Megan Markle, what's her name in suits?
Lisa? No, that's a very good question, but it's not Mornay Morkel.
Centre of the ground.
He bowls lovely in-swingers on the grass.
Stevenson out to the wing. Mark now taken for Collingwood by Appleby.
I think I'm missing out on something.
To
I'm
right half
watching
forward.
Repeats of Hogan's Heroes.
Treloar, short. Adams shrugs the tackle, delivers into the forward pocket, going up for the mark. Hoskin Elliott couldn't hold on to it that time. Spilled to Geary, no prior opportunity.
Gee, Hoskin Elliott's dropped 2 marks in the forward 50 that he almost took.
Right forward pocket for Collingwood. Deep into attack. Lockett end of Etihad Stadium. Ball thrown up. Neither ruckman got near it. Allows Ross to extract. Quick little handball. Dunstan kicks outside a defensive 50. Jack Billings the mark. Left half back for St Kilda. Wanted to get it to Ed Phillips. Ball punched away. Dunn comes up with it. Little handball to Langdon. And now Pendlebury. They work it with a handball on centre wing. Murray marks in the centre of the ground. Kicks on his left. Sam Murray, rising star earlier in the year. Kicks up toward full forward. No one over to mark. Hickey pushed off the contest. Trying to get a pick up was Gresham. Did so. Put it onto his right boot to no one in particular. And back fly to the ball. Brodie Grundy takes the mark. 45-degree angle, 50 metres out.
Yeah, what's Meghan Markle's name in suits, Darren?
Rachel Zane.
Rachel.
Correct. Robert Zane.
Are you missing the royal wedding tonight, Rob?
I'm taping it, so
we're just going to watch the highlights.
You're what?
Yeah.
You're
That's
taping it. You're
when they
taping
walk
the
down
royal
aisle.
wedding, Robert.
Well, they're going to watch the highlights. They'll play it ad nauseum.
They're taping the highlights, Robert. What's it come to?
Brodie Grundy kicked 4 straight this year. Not anymore.
But you ever thought the man that won the
4
Norm
goals,
Smith medal
one.
in 1972 would live in France, eat snails, and watch the replay of the royal wedding?
Become very sophisticated.
that
They got into the carriage with the Queen and the horse, horse and farted, and the bloke's Queen said, "I do beg your pardon." He said, "Geez, that's all right, Your Highness." I thought it was the horse.
Jaden Stevenson for Collingwood going to handball to side bottom, was under pressure. Take up the call whenever you're ready, Rexy.
No, I'm just getting the race ready for 10 to 11. And the Fox hat, love on the bonnet, Princess Litigation. The ball now down towards the left half forward flank, and the mark has been...
It's out of bounds on the full.
Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, poor old Red Chickie of the Saints. He moves like slow melting concrete.
Shagger. Collingwood 7-6-48 to St Kilda 6-7-43. He asked Noel Gordon of the Brisbane Bears why he didn't have a surname, Shagger, and he said to Gavin Exel, "Would you rather lose an eye or have your tongue cut off?" The ball came, and Sam, so side bottom onto the left boot, bounced inside 50. Here comes Langdon, he can't get it. Right over the top, the Saints are trying to defend through Clark. This is tough, this is rugged. The hand pass came on to Webster. He couldn't get it. It was now in trouble there for Jack Stephen to come around, give it off, and 3 or 4 hand passes. Well, they see the Saints off Webster off the half-back line onto the wing. Wonderful, wonderful effort to mark, but it wasn't there. Kicked off with a worm-burning, mongrel, finger-breaking, up-country punt kick that died on its trajectory and over the boundary line and out of bounds. Take it over. I'm getting the race ready. There's a late scratching. Itchy bum's been scratched.
So we've got Shane Warne at half-time. We've got the race after the game, and then after 11, I'll go one-on-one with Rex.
You're what?
Yeah, one-on-one.
Gee, I look forward to that. We'll get some headlines for that, Shane.
Throw in.
What are you about inviting Sam?
Don't. Picked up by Ed Phillips for St Kilda. It's at left half forward for the Saints. Here's Hunter Clark. High ball inside 50.
Who?
Pack flies. No one able to bring it down. Here's Billings off the pack. Little drop punt toward goal. Gets it. St Kilda back in front. Seesawing affair under the roof at Etihad. St Kilda 7-7-49. Collingwood 7-6-48. And can the Saints break the drought tonight?
It's not a bad game, Sam.
No.
It's entertaining
close.
and it's close, and we're getting a few goals scored. Like the skills, we're seeing some good skills. They overdo the handball. When you get a chance, Shane, tell us how many handballs the Saints have had and how many kicks.
Bit hard for me.
I reckon they handball more than they kick.
Handballs for St Kilda, 114 to 95 kicks. For Collingwood, 109 kicks to 83 handballs.
Oh dear. That is exactly right. That's why there's 400 possessions a game as opposed to 250 yesteryear.
No, not going, Rex. Okay. Ball thrown up. Treloar looks to clear, but there's a free kick. You know it is your night, Rexy.
Yeah.
Pendlebury's got it in the middle of the ground.
Well, he certainly has. He was saw him with his wife in Bali eating some lovely stuff at the finger end. Now the ball came out there towards Murray. A low trajectory kick, and Collingwood are going to build now over the top with Thomas. Thomas's short kick, but into the space of what? You didn't kick it correctly. You can do it at training. Now it's Webster. Picked it up. Got it over the top. Jock Ross didn't get it. Now it's going to be Geary. He's going to try Gresham. It went off there with a long, long ball down towards Marshall. And Marshall kicked it to the left half, right half forward. But how now? Brown Cow picked it up for Collingwood. Scharenberg straight down the throat of the American Pie. Big Cox got it to Pendlebury. Got it on further afield to Jack Crisp. He doesn't know Sam Kekovich. And the ball now marked in the last line of defence by Nathan Brown of St Kilda.
So closing it on half-time on this Saturday night, Shane Warne, the spin king himself, to join us in the box at half-time. Rex has gone to get Warney, so it's his night, but he's left the commentary box.
Just keep going, Shane.
Thanks, Rob. Here's Loney, off left half-back. Kicks up towards centre wing. Pack flies. It's going to come off hands. And we'll see a boundary throw in with the siren about to go for half-time. Which is game on the scoreboard. St Kilda 7-7-49, leading Collingwood 7-6-48. Should be the final play of the half. Ball tossed back in. Cox, Hickey, Siren. Half-time on a Saturday night at Etihad Stadium, and the Saints lead by a point. 7-7-49. Collingwood 7-6-48. Gentlemen, a quick word before we take a break for half-time.
Well, it's been I take on advisement what Robert said. It's been an entertaining game. Hasn't been a great standard of game by any stretch of the imagination. St Kilda have tried very hard to have a workable forward line. They've succeeded to that extent, in as much as most of their goals have been through some positive forward structure. Collingwood, on the other hand, through the agency of Dagu, he mainly has kicked 3 haphazard snaps. But I think that St Kilda will probably stay with Collingwood. You've got to say Collingwood is probably a better side, but at this stage, with only just a kick in it, it's going to be an interesting contest. I don't know why they don't exploit Cox more than they do down in the square. Seriously, at least it'll take 2 people to compete with him, and maybe they can sweep under the pack and kick a couple of goals that way. But pretty ordinary game, but they're trying very hard, and we're remaining positive, and we're looking forward to the second half. Robert.
The voice of Sam Newman. We'll hear from Robert Walls on the other side of the break. Multiple goal kickers. Jordan De Goey has 4 for Collingwood, 3 to Jack Newnes and 2 to Jack Loney. While in the other game tonight, it's half-time at the SCG, and it's the Sydney Swans, 7-4-46, leading a hapless Fremantle at the moment, 1-7-13. Other side of the break, Shane Warne to join us live in the commentary box here at 3AW Footy. Rex's final game. He's gotten through one half. Can he get through another? We'll find out next. For McDonald's, 3AW is football. Half-time at Etihad Stadium on this Saturday night. The Saints 7-7-49 to Collingwood 7-6-48, I should say. Up in Sydney, it's the Swans by 33 points over the Dockers, but we're joined by a very special guest in the commentary box on what is a very special occasion for Rex Hunt.
Well, after the footy show, I got the magnificent text from Shane Warne, and Sam and Robert and I are going to chat to Warney about everything except football. We're going to speak about life.
I tell you what,
nothing's off limits, Rexy. Nothing's off limits.
Prince Charles has just walked Megan down the aisle, and Prince Charles said g'day to Warney at the Commonwealth Games. And Your Royal Highness, where did you see Warney?
Gold Coast.
I see. Well, there you are. Sam Newman with...
I tell you what we're going to ask Shane, and welcome Shane,
Yes,
firstly the priorities. You are a great advocate and friend of Meghan Markle, because you are a Suits devotee. And did you actually go onto the set and see them, Harvey and Lewis Litt?
I am a big fan of Meghan Markle's. I'm a big fan of Suits.
Yeah.
And yes, I did buy an auction item that the AKA Harvey Specter put up for his charity. He put up visit the set of Suits, and I saw that on Twitter. I got in touch with him and said I'd love to buy this, and I got a friend and we bought it, and now we've got a set on a day of the set of Suits anytime we want in Toronto.
Sam, you're showing your ignorance. Didn't you see it on your Twitter?
Hey?
Carry on.
Yeah, are you on social media now, Sam?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what I'm on. I think I am.
Do you do it yourself?
He's on more than social media.
I'm on Original Smart as Sam. It's called.
Do you do it yourself?
Oh yes, Amanda does. Original Smart as Sam on. That's on Instagram, isn't it?
Instagram.
I think it's on Instagram.
Okay, I'm going to follow you on Instagram.
So what season are they up to, Suits?
Season 7 they've just finished, and season 8 is being shot right now.
And so she won't be on it.
No, the last episode of season 7 was the big wedding that Mike married Rachel, aka Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
I can tell you through every episode.
I know
I can go
you
through
can.
words.
I know you.
I can tell you all the things that you want.
Wolsey, you into all this sort of stuff, Wolsey?
Yeah, I watch it, Rex. I binge watch.
You what? Yep. That's right. You just watch.
So I can't wait for a week and a week and a week.
Drink.
I'll just sort of watch
exactly
8 episodes in 2 nights.
And you're pitiful. And then you go to then you go to the south of France and eat snails. What's happened to you, Rob?
That's where I binge watch, in the south of France.
So I tell you, there's a new one you'll like. It's called Ozark.
I've seen it.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
good.
I've seen it.
It's good.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yes, Ozark's
Now,
the one.
you're just back from India?
Yes.
Flew in yesterday.
Yes, flew in Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
Did you take your baked beans and Vegemite with you this time as a commentary man?
I do pack that, Rexy. I do pack that. We're very lucky that we stay in some wonderful hotels these days in India. It's a little bit different to 25 years ago when no, it was still a good place then. But it's always nice, a little bit of Vegemite on toast or something like that.
Okay.
A bit of baked beans, Rexy, it's okay.
So now you've moved from the Great Nine Network in the cricket, and Fox have managed to snare you. You and how many others from Nine? One. None.
I think I'm the only one from Nine
You're
at
the
this
only
stage,
one?
Sam, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of the other boys all come across.
I'm sure they probably won't if they haven't been commissioned by now.
I was very lucky, Sam. I had 25 years at Channel 9. I met the great and late Kerry Packer in the early 90s when I came back from the 93 Ashes tour, and he wanted me on the network.
And I like that advice he gave you.
Yeah,
he said, this is pictures, we can see what's happening, we want to know why it's happening.
Yeah,
you've been fantastic at that.
Now let's cut to the...
He said, the actual quote was, he said, son, don't treat me and all the other cricket fans as a dummy. We love our cricket. Don't tell me what I can see. Tell me why it's happening.
Yeah. Well,
and I thought, that's pretty good advice.
You don't argue with a man that said, I've been to the other side and there's nothing there. Okay, and if it flies and floats, you rent it. Shane Warner's joined us, believe it or not, on 3AW Football. My last hurrah, and it's just lit up the switchboard, say, get rid of him. Did we cheat? Was it a hanging offence with the Bali 9 to send the cricket team from South Africa? What was your perspective as a great, not only of Australia, but one of the all-time greats of world cricket? Give us your side on it.
First of all, I don't think the punishment fit the crime. I thought 12 months was a bit too harsh. Second of all, I thought it was handled very poorly. I thought they got the wrong advice at the time. Thirdly, I think the biggest grey area in cricket is ball tampering, because people say it was premeditated cheating what the Australians did. But if I decide I want to put a mint in my mouth in the change rooms, that's going to help my saliva, and when I shine the ball, that's still premeditated cheating as well. So there's the grey area of cricket, and ball tampering is huge. It's very hard to police. But pulling sandpaper out to go to that lengths to try and win at all costs was, I think, embarrassing and un-Australian. And I think all of us...
Well,
it was just dumb.
Shane Winder's joined us, and he's talking to Robert Walls. And talking to Robert, did you ever put PK or juicy fruit on one side of the ball when you were playing for Preston under-11s?
No, I used to put it on the boot. They said put cherry on your boot, dickhead. So I did. Shane, the three players who got suspended, will any of them play for Australia again?
I think Warner and Smith definitely will. I hope young Bancroft can. But the only way he's going to get back is just pure weight of runs. I think Warner and Smith are just too good, and we rely on them so much. But I think if they do their time and they come back fit, healthy, raring to go, then I think they'll come back.
Shane Warner's going to join us, and we've got a lovely presentation to a kid that came from Hampton and Sandringham and just made the world stage. But we go now to the 3AW National Newsroom.
Throughout Australia, this is 3AW's live coverage of the 2018 AFL Premiership season.
Thank you very much, dear Craig, and welcome relays again after half-time. Shane Warne with Robert Walls and Sam in a moment. St Kilda 7-7-49, Collingwood 7-6-48. We're just crossing to the Royal Wedding. They've been entertained before the bride arrives by someone who was a big hit at an AFL Grand Final a couple of years ago. Let's pick up this wonderful world-class guest. That's working beautifully. Anyhow, Sam, to talk about Elizabeth Hurley, because if Elizabeth was on, he'd be at the wedding.
I'm asking Shane this question. I want to know an honest answer.
Yes,
Did
Sam.
you get more enjoyment out of bowling Mike Gatting in your opening test match, which put your career on the map, or getting a hole-in-one at Augusta on the famous 16th?
I've both only done it once. I bowled Mike Gatting. The first time in a test match I bowled my first ball, it only ever happened once. That was the Mike Gatting in 93.
And then went on to take another 8 million wickets, but you'd never do that again, hole-in-one.
Well, Sam,
I probably never have an opportunity to have a hole-in-one again.
We've got a lovely spray of chocolate here. Chocolates back in the box is our mate, young Thomas, the ex-St Kilda coach, Grant Thomas. Michael Gadinsky walks in. Nick Williams, who can ill afford to eat any more chocolates, is there. I think he might eat the whole lot. But Warnie, the chocolatier chocolates, when I throw chocolates at the members of the MCG, I prefer to throw, and Robert looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp because you've got his scorched armours.
Yeah.
You are a star, and thanks a lot for gracing us with your pleasure tonight.
No, thank you very much, Rexy. Well done to you, mate. 50 years.
Would you like to call the opening minute before you go back to Nicky Williams?
I don't think I'll do that.
Well, I'm retired. We can pay you more than Foxtel.
No.
Just a quick one,
Rexy,
Shane.
I'm sure you can't. But
Justin Langer. Is he going to be good?
Yeah, I think he'll be good. I think, look, there's been a lot of talk about team culture and things like that with the Australians. I think what we want from the Australian cricket team is the public. We all like the Australian cricket team. We want to trust them and we want to be proud of them again. So I think Justin Langer will hold them in good stead. I think he'll instill some good values into them. And I'm hoping they'll play in the Australian way. None of this Kiwis. We want to play like the New Zealanders. We want to play like Australians.
In the beginning of the end, Robert, you and I discussed it when they didn't appoint this man with a bit of crap on his bloody liver and mongrel, and that's when we started to go soft, and that's when we got soft. And what would you do with people who bash paramedics?
Me?
Well, I'm looking at you. I've not even got your eyes.
Yeah, well, I get in and finish the job off, give him a good kicking.
Thank you very much. And here's Shane Warne as the umpire, Dean Margetts, starts the second term. St Kilda 7-7-49 to Collingwood 7-6-48. We've had the ball of the century. Let's have the call of the century. Here's Warnie.
Over to you, Rex.
Thank you very much. And umpire Geary has got the air conveyance and goes bang. The big bloke Hickey knocked it out with Grundy. Stacks on the mill. Throw a blanket over the whole lot. If they were dogs, you'd get in the street. Gresham gets it, kicks a long ball down towards the half-forward line. And there's a mark to Nunes. And Nunes, Warnie, is going to line it up and kick his fourth goal. You are a star, mate, and thank you very much for your time tonight.
Well, Nunes,
you must come by for another in-depth interview one day.
Kerry Packer said to Alan Bond, thank you for your company.
I reckon Collingwood's in a bit of strife, Sam, because Fasolo won't play the second half. They've only got 3 on the bench.
They've managed to keep St Kilda in the game, and that's not taken anything away from St Kilda. This must go through.
Nunes from 40, and it's a goal. It's his fourth goal. Magnificent play by Nunes, his fourth. He's got 4 out of 8. And yibbida. That is magnificent for St Kilda start the second half. They're going to go upstairs, but it's a goal. It's 8-7-55 and Collingwood 7-6-48. They're doing the television box. Perhaps they're saying, have a look at Suits.
Well, they're trying to see if it was touched, are they?
Fair enough. What do you think about this?
Well, they've got the wrong angle for a start. If they're
what do
trying
you
to see
think
if it's
about
touched.
the day when a goal umpire had to make the decision? It's a goal.
They want to see if it hit the post, I think, do they?
Well, it's over the line.
Yarra Valley Toyota in Croydon, replay, goal.
Yeah, well, there you are. I said
Clear
it
as
was.
day.
Here's Robert Walls tonight, and it was great to have Warnie in the box. Let's straighten up to what we were before halftime, because we were serious, and Warnie's a bit light-hearted, so let's get, pardon me, serious.
Well, I tell you what, if Collingwood don't lift their act, they're in danger of losing a game they are expected to win. And there's a bit of spirit amongst the Saints, and I don't think they've had a forward target like Nunes all season. Their leading goal kicker going into tonight's game was Membrane with 6.
Membrane.
Jack Nunes.
And on your list?
Tim Membrane. Jack Nunes had kicked 1 goal for the season coming into the 90. Now has 4, and St Kilda with that goal lead by 7 points, and they get the clearance again through Jack Stephen, who kicks up toward left half forward, bounce of the ball. David Loney eventually got rid of it as he was tackled. We're waiting for it. Main. The umpire has found a free kick. He's paid the advantage to Collingwood as Adams gives off a handball. Scharenberg kicks out a defensive 50 up towards centre wing. Socket off the ground by Mason Cox. Might have been in danger. Umpire called play on it. Trickles toward the boundary line. That's where it finishes. Throw in wing half forward for Collingwood.
Tell me why, please, Mason Cox, who's playing on the forward line, is leading up to the wing. Someone else should be leading up to the wing. Keep a man that needs 2 people to mind him down near the goal somewhere.
Collingwood trailing by 7 points. St Kilda with its biggest lead of the evening.
Yep.
Scott Pendlebury, go Sam.
Now here he is. Turn round, Mason. Now God, he's kicked
Pendlebury
it into the man on the mark.
That's exactly what he did.
Holy
Dunstan
mackerel.
Ball ricochets down. Came up to Hunter Clark. He was taken high. No free kick. Degoe zigzags. Tries to get a handball out. He did, but it ended up with Jack Stephen. Stephen a little 1-2 handball to Webster. Back to Stephen through the centre corridor. Stephen now links up with Seb Ross. Low trajectory kick up towards centre half forward. Armitage couldn't trap it. Jeremy Howe could. Gave the handball to Murray.
Why has he run up the ground, Cox?
Murray to Pendlebury.
Look at that.
Degui's going to mark it. He's there and he can't get it. So Savage got it off the half-back line. Marshall, he now can't get it, and it's now going to be Webster bringing a long ball out towards the big fellow in Hickey. Punched away. It went down towards Dunstan of St Kilda. He hand-passed it on. Now the Saints are going to go to the left half forward looking for Jock Ross. And it was punched over the boundary line. And here's Sam Newman as Sharon Bird went thump.
Well, Sharonberg, how about marking it? He punched it away from himself. And Cox keeps leading up the ground. He's now on the wing here. He's playing ostensibly on the forward line. I have no idea why the coach has got him playing like that.
7-point ball game in favour of the Saints. Ball thrown into play. Half forward for St Kilda. Stephen a little handball forward. Crisp tried to track it. Did well. Eventually trapped the footy. Kicks into the centre corridor. Marked by Thomas. Look away handball across to Phillips. Phillips went to Murray and back to Phillips. Ball at centre half forward now for Collingwood. They're still working it across half back. It went to Sharonberg and back to Phillips. He eventually kicks to centre wing, city side of the ground, trying to come away with it. Jaden Stevenson. Handball errant went to Jaron Geary. He links up with Ed Phillips. Short little kick forward, just rides the boundary line.
Overpossess the ball, they do. Collingwood overpossess it. I reckon
Roberts' man Fazolo is out for the game, so he's and that's the good news. The bad news that you and Julie are going to ice him at 3 tomorrow morning next door.
Ice him?
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah. Ball thrown back into play.
Doesn't that mean kill?
Wing forward. I hope not for Alex Fasolo's sake. Grundy. Little handball.
You know Alex was doomed from the start that Robert mentioned they were neighbours.
Taylor Adams, his kick, errant, went to Membry. Membry gave it off quickly. Sinclair does a little 3-6 in, then has a shot at goal from 49 metres out, misses. St Kilda. Rex, do you want to do the score?
8-8. So Collingwood at the moment are 7-6-48 and St Kilda are 8-8-56. Brother! Thank you very much. This is Grundy. So Grundy with the man bun.
Reg Grundy?
No, that's
Reg
Sydney.
Hickey?
That's Sydney. He's up at the Gold Coast. So a long ball down towards the half-forward line, and Big Cox, he can't get it. Off the half-back line now, it was going to be Jock Ross who kicked a long ball down. And goodness me, Sharonberg said, how easy is this? Took the mark and he kicked it back. They might concede this. Now it's going to be Brown. No, it's not. It's going to be the other bloke in Crisp, who doesn't know who Sam Kekovich is. The sand pass now to Appleby. Appleby got it around. Now a long ball down by Taylor Adams, and that might be a free kick against Geary. I think it is. And it's going to go to Josh Thomas. So Thomas now is going to kick it in towards half forward. How'd you like to be playing? You played centre half forward, Sam, not only for Geelong but St Kilda. This is a disgrace. I might watch the royal wedding as you take over, Shane. I can't broadcast this for a moment. I've actually got to just regain my breath.
Hunter Clark clears off centre half back. Murray tries to trap it for Collingwood. Can't. Stolen away. Dunstan flicks it out. Gave it to Gresham. Gresham kicks to centre half forward. Marked by Membry. Runs to 45 metres out. Directly in front. Drop punt. Was it touched? It was.
Shit.
Before going through for a minus score.
What's he kick for the year, Shane? Goals behind.
Give me a moment.
Only had to kick it 8 feet in the air. He kicked it 7 feet and it was touched.
His last 9 shots, he's kicked 1 goal, 8.
He's due for a goal, isn't he?
Righto. Now I'm going to say this again. Collingwood on the wing here, and Mason Cox is standing midway between the wing and the goal square. Why he is standing there, I have no idea.
6 goals, 15 for the year, Rob, to Tim Membry. 6 goals, 15.
I'll give you the theory why he's there,
right,
Sam.
I want it.
You can go with it now, Rob.
Well, the theory is that Degoe is the goal kicker so far, so give Degoe the space.
Turnover, Sinclair, little toe poker inside 50. Here's Nunes. Oh, great tackle, Jeremy Howe. Nunes flicked it out, came up for Collingwood to Appleby. Looked to get a handball away. Crisp got a little chip kick forward.
But I agree with you, Sam. It would make sense for the big fella to be at the end of the goal square, 10 metres out from goal, and put Degoe 10 metres in front of him, so he's got all the 50. But to have the big fella running around
He's
these
just running.
rings.
He's like a dog chasing a frisbee. He's just running under it and backwards.
So the ball spinning back into play by umpire Ben Doon. He threw it in beautifully and it went to half forward as now the Saints are trying to repel that attack, and Awesome Wells is over there. He doesn't look good to me. Dewey came through and lost the football. Ron Allen getting the hand pass there was Wells, and it now went to half forward with Wells. And Wells has got a short kick on, and the mark taken over there by Crisp, by Stevenson, and Ross Stevenson has kicked his second goal. Roscoe, you beauty! The rumour file just banging another one through. And Collingwood bring it back to 2 points. They're 8-6-54. St Kilda 8-8-56. And on the tweet and the Twitter of samnewman.com.nfg, Johnny Farnham, they said, this is Rex's last game. He only retires once. How many times have you retired, Johnny?
Yes, mate. I spoke to Glenn the other day. He reckons I've retired about 6 times. The bride reckons it's 5. I love you guys.
I got a question for you, Rex. You've been commentating for 38 years, you tell us.
39.
Okay.
We've had some questions tonight,
well, I come prepared, sir.
No, thank Christ.
And the question is this: what's the worst ground you've ever had to commentate at? Have a think about it.
Right, I think the Western Oval,
or Geelong,
when we sat in the stand and Bill spat on the cheer squad. The
What?
bloke
But he
used to
said
sit down and sell the violet crumbles. He'd sell one and eat 4.
Gresham, a high ball inside 50 to no one in particular.
And you wouldn't say the bloke that sold the vice crumbles was big, but you wouldn't want him to break wind on your last pound of flour.
Lyndon Dunn takes the mark. Bill Jacobs you'd be referring to,
He
Rex.
used to show home movies on his underpants.
He said, are you referring to Bill spat on the cheer squad?
Yeah, he said, spinning, the ball goes down the dung funnel.
Right up the dung funnel.
Still inside defensive 50. Dunn looks to clear it. And now off left half back, Tom Phillips.
Did Bill come up with
centre wing
circumvolution of the air conveyance?
Langdon.
No,
kicks
there's no
forward.
skin off my nose.
Cox loops the handball forward. Side bottom in turn. Here's your man Stevenson.
Oh,
Red side
he's
to run
pinned.
down from behind. Stevenson got a little kick away. Still inside attacking. 50 for the Magpies. But Webster, short little pass. Billings traps it. Just nudges it forward. Hardly went the required distance. Loney kicks inboard, not a good kick. Crisp came up with it, loops the handball over the top. Josh Thomas, empty goal square. Pies back in front.
Well, you just don't square the ball from back flank to centre half back unless your teammate is in the clear, can mark and play on, and the St Kilda fella who was receiving it was surrounded by 3 Magpies. He had no hope.
Collingwood 9-6-60, St Kilda 8-8-56. 11 minutes gone. Go again, Rex. St Kilda 8-8-56.
Brother.
11 minutes gone, third quarter, 3AW football.
Okay,
third quarter for Robot Building Supplies.
Well, let's for them go down to ground side, and here's Kamal.
Well, you know, many people say that I am unkind, but there are 2 kind goals to the calling pie.
That's Guru Bob.
Why are people so unkind?
4 points to lead to Collingwood. Rex Hunt on 3AW football.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Switch me on. Kiss my neck like a rooster. The ball came out now to Grundy. A wobbling, finger-breaking up-country punt kick down to the big yank. He can't get it. He was yanked off the football. Hoskin went in, and Awesome Wells. Wells has kicked his second. 2 goals in 30 seconds. And here come Collingwood. Here come Collingwood, 10-6, clickety-click. And St Kilda, 8-8-56. Robert Walls and Sam Newman here tonight on 3AW Football.
And Sam, what happened there is what you've been asking for all game. A long kick out of the centre. Cox contests the mark, brings it to ground, and if you've got Wells underneath you, he'll kick goals every time.
Now, I don't know why that's so complicated too. That is just making the game more complicated than it is. That it seems sensible play. As you said, you've got a man who's probably 2 metres tall, maybe a little over, and it will take at least 2 people to nullify him, and the rest of the story is that the people on the ground clean up.
Neither side has led by more than 10 points tonight. That's the margin at the moment. Collingwood by 10, 66-56. Ball yet to be cleared out of the middle. We'll see another ball up. Go, Rob.
And my great suggestion for this game is, I know I've said it for maybe 6 or 7 years, is don't let anyone in the centre square until those people in it at centre bouncers get the ball out, and you'll find the game would open up naturally.
Main like a rugby scrum taken into the ground. And another ball up, this time just forward of centre for St Kilda. They're 8-8-56. Collingwood 10-6-66. Third quarter brought to you by Robot Building Supplies. 3AW Saturday night footy for Maccas. Ball still in the centre of the ground. Sam Murray looks to get the pick up now. Takes on Mathwella. Got away from him. Puts it onto the left boot. Kicks forward, but Savage underneath it takes the mark for St Kilda. Still more or less on centre wing. City side of Etihad Stadium. As Savage goes all the way back inside defensive 50. Webster. They'll switch play to the Dockland side of the ground. Underneath it, Ed Phillips takes the mark in just his second game of AFL footy.
Sydney by 46 points, Shane, and Fremantle are 1 goal 8.
Yeah, that's embarrassing for the Dockers. They've had their problems this season, both on and off the field. Ball picked up on centre wing, Dunstan. Handball it across. Stephen kicks forward, underneath it. Big Rowan Marshall takes the mark. He's 55 metres from home, Marshall.
Oh, my Godfather.
That's a shocking kick. Stevenson intercepts. Takes the mark at centre-half back for Collingwood. Loops a handball over the top to Hoskin Elliott. Drills it to left half forward.
Scott Thomas.
Wells marks. Kicks forward. He took too long. To go up from behind. Great mark to the umpire. Paid he did.
Well, he had 2 bites at the cherry. I don't know if he held it long enough, but anyway, he competed against 3 Saints.
And you know, it's like treading on eggshells. To go, he should have gone the specky. Then he just ran in, could have put his knee in the back, but they're so frightened that they're going to infringe for some reason. That was a perfect opportunity to take a specky over the back of the pack.
This for 5, an equal career high to Jordan De Goey. Comes in, kicks, goals. He's got 5. Collingwood, a game-high 16-point lead. And Robot Building Supply scoreboard, Collingwood 11-6-72. St Kilda 8-8-56.
And up the other end of the ground, we saw St Kilda streaming into attack with a misplaced kick to 2 St Kilda people on their own.
Yeah, that was Marshall.
The Collingwood guy was in the middle. The ball was kicked straight to him, went down the other end of the ground, and the rest is history. De Goey's 5th.
And Darren James is with us tonight for Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, ran into a couple of the woodsmen. Coterim I'm involved with. They weren't happy at half-time, but 3 goals to St Kilda's none makes them a little happier. Michelle behind me says, hi, Rex. First-time spectator, long-time listener. She can't believe it's your last call.
Yeah, put her on and we'll get her on in a moment.
Righto.
And De Goey's 50th goal.
Just saw something very interesting, Rex. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Let me decide whether it's interesting or not. The ball now down towards the right half. It's like people say, I'll tell you a story you'll enjoy, or I'll tell you a funny joke. Go on, Robert, off you go.
Well, it was young Marshall who squared the ball and put it down the throat of a magpie, and they rebounded and got the goal. Alan Richardson, the coach, is at ground level. He took the kid down the race and had a word with him. I reckon it might have been a stern word.
I reckon, and that's the problem. You've got to have the manager say, you can't upset my client. Well, bully for you. The hand pass over the top. It ended up with Langdon. Carl Langdon or Alison Langdon. Here's the man Bunning Grundy. Intercepted down there by Sinclair. He tries to get around there with Jack Stephen, who's Michelle down there.
Dispatch.
How are you, Michelle? You've left it on my last night to say that you love me, and now I'm going to go off in the moonlight, and you could have saved my job. Good afternoon. So the ball now in the hands of Langdon. He's going to go left and right, and now he hand passes it off. This is the young boy over there in Scharenberg. Scharenberg now got it out further. He's got a hand pass. No, he got a mark to Phillips and on towards the wing position. And Collingwood are going to have a go, and you can work out who it is over there. I'll do the race.
Is she here, Rex?
She certainly is. Michelle, are you enjoying the game?
I'm loving your call, Rexy. Thank you so much. I realise how much we miss you.
All right, I'll play it back to Graham Mott and Shane Healy and see if I can get a job next week. Back to you. Lovely to speak to you, and all the best.
Thank you.
Good on you, Michelle.
That was actually someone speaking. I thought it was you doing a voice.
Or the helium gas, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the French Sheila.
Hello, it's very nice to hear you. Yes, I've just taken some helium gas. It's very nice to be here.
Kick the right half forward for Collingwood. Grundy knocked it down. Billings came up with it. Here's Ed Phillips, back to Billings, and now Tom Hickey. Trapped by Stevenson. Hickey handballed laterally. Gave it to Phillips.
No, he's
Phillips
gone.
put Billings under pressure. Was tackled. Ball spilled out. Stevenson came up with it. Put it on the right boot. Kicks up toward right half forward, and Grundy marks. Now he needs to wait for teammates to flood forward here. Grundy, short, lateral, across half forward for Pendlebury. Does he take on Savage? No. Kicks around his body on the left. Nice little dinky kick, and Travis Barco marks. or about 25 metres out. He kicks this. He makes it a 22-point ball game. Rob asked before, Rex, is the fat lady here tonight?
Well, I went out to get a pie and they're all gone, so there may be a knock on the door.
All right, so
let's see how good you are, Gav, if you can find the knock on the door.
Travis
Good afternoon.
It's
Hello, Rexy.
It's a hard game when Rex hasn't been at 3AW calling footy for the better part of 10 years. And now Varco kicks across the face and a minor score. 17 points the margin.
And here's Darren James down there. I'm sorry to be talking while interrupting Shane. And you've got Werner down there.
Yeah.
Werner from Vermont.
I'm with Werner. What do you think of the call so far, Werner?
Scheisenhauer.
Scheisenhauer. Couldn't even
Gavin,
say it.
get Stephen Bracks and just let him know how do you say Scheisenhausen. I'll give you 3 seconds and get back to you. On the centre wing, the Magpies are going to hand pass over the top. Now this is Scharenberg. Steve Bracks, what do you think of the game?
Scheisenhausen.
That's it.
Very nicely done, Gav. He's under pressure tonight. He's lifted for the occasion as Jeremy Howe. That was a Scheisenhausen kick forward. Intercepted now by Sinclair. Drives the ball forward. Mark taken by Jack Stephen. Centre wing, outer side of the ground. Handball's off to Savage, but there's a 50-metre penalty. That 10-metre protected area was infringed, and it will take Jack Stephen to within range of goal.
Rex, while we've got a lull in play,
That wouldn't matter.
you gave a lot of players nicknames over the course of 39 years
question.
calling. What nickname that you gave you the most satisfaction?
Well, the most satisfaction was the Cranium Mill Hanner. His mother didn't like it much, and the man that really is still holding a grudge against me is Brett Hetty because I called him the job.
Jason Tawney, Rex?
Tawney, a good friend of the jobs.
Jack Stephen kicks and misses to the near side. They could have used that, St Kilda. St Kilda 8-9-57. The Magpies 11-7-73. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. We've gone 20.5 minutes in this third quarter. 3AW Saturday Night Football. Here's Rex Hunt.
Are we having fun as Lyndon Dunn kicked a long ball out towards the half-back line, and that's a mark to Hickey. I'm sure it is.
The American wants to get him.
Yeah, he does. He's waving like a policeman in Bangkok. And if you go to Bangkok, you know why they call it that. A long ball in towards the half-forward line. Now Jack Stephen is there. He can't get it. Pendlebury does. Someone got a poke in the eye like Gavin Exel. Perhaps his tongue will get cut off. And the umpire said, give it to me. And that's for Ron Barassi, Gavin Exel, the injured Geelong player. You got an injured eye. You be Ron Barassi.
Yes, nice to have you on 3AW, Gavin. Would you rather have your eye poked out or your tongue cut out? Do you think we're making that up?
No, we're not.
What was the answer?
Gavin was
just said,
nonplussed. He said, what did you say, Ron?
Next week we interviewed Noel Gordon, and Ron asked him why he didn't have a surname, and he said, I sacked Robert Walls because he parked in my car pack.
Tagoe marks on the wing, inside 50, over the head of Wells. Geary argues with Nathan Brown for the footy. The skipper took it, gave it to Savage. Handball's out wide, back to Geary. Handball outside defensive 50, just down in front of Armitage. Armitage going to be run down. Great tackle from Varco. Collingwood maintained possession through Scharenberg to Pendlebury. Now side bottom, 55 metres out. High ball inside 50, Tagoe direction. He ducks under the footy, slides into it, flicks the handball out. Gave it over to Phillips. Tom Phillips, goal.
That's
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
It's only the third quarter, Rex.
I reckon he might have gone too early.
It'll be the first time.
That was Tagoe's goal then. He great bit of scrounging, grabbed the ball out, got it out. Collingwood are just a better side than St Kilda, although they're not playing that well. St Kilda are trying hard, but they're an ordinary football side at the minute.
Well, it's a 5-goal to 1 quarter. So the game's just got away from the Saints.
I just worry, Rex, we might need a Revo Steve.
I'd like to have $100. We don't.
Gee, David Armitage in front of us here just gave up that ball too easily, went to ground, and on the turnover, goal to Collingwood.
So that was Varco off 50. Savage rather.
I reckon he's goaled it.
Yeah, I reckon he has too. It was.
Or they'll have a review,
Might have been
maybe.
touched on the line. We're going to go for the review.
They need a goal, the Saints.
Umpire's call is a behind.
He's called it behind.
Can you just confirm that it was touched beforehand?
Umpire set a behind. Gee, have a look at that, Sam. I reckon it might be over the line.
That's over the line. There's no doubt that's over the line. That is over the line.
Yep.
Got to give that over the line.
Well, the full ball has to be over the line.
Well, that full ball is over the line.
Absolutely.
Oh, the players are gone back expecting a centre bounce.
That is over the line. If you don't say that's over the line, you may as well not have a score review.
Camera, they might as well get this GoPro here.
Or
decision coming up here. Goal.
That's correct.
So Shane Savage gets one back for the Saints.
That's a proper and good use of that score review. That is, those games, those scores could make the difference between a side winning a grand final or getting into the finals, and that was proper use of that, and it should take time, no matter how long, to make sure you get it right, and that was got right.
So the margin 16 points in favour of Collingwood, 79 plays 63. We'll go around the grounds in a moment, get an update from Sydney. Swans taking on Fremantle. Certainly here at Etihad Stadium. We've got the close one tonight.
How many goals have Fremantle kicked?
Said we'd go in a moment, Rob. They've got 2 goals.
Gee, they've doubled their score.
Side bottom to get the clearance out of the middle for Collingwood. Gives a quick little handball off. Phillips the kick forward. Now Tom Phillips been good tonight. Crunched in the pack.
Main absolutely hammered. What are his stats?
He's been good tonight. Chris Main, one of his better performances. He's had 12 possessions. That's number 13. Kicks up toward right half forward.
Caulfield.
What?
Mark taken by De Goey.
He goes long to Cox.
And Cox goes up. Can't quite mark. Jaden Stevenson at ground level trying to wrestle for the footy.
He's not even playing, Rex.
Caulfield.
Where is he?
Caulfield.
What number?
Don't know why we're talking about that. But
33.
now Ed Phillips, the clearing kick, out of defensive 50.
Knocks
Ball
the
bounces
Collingwood
up
though.
on centre wing.
Yeah,
Lyndon
it.
Dunn able to take it off the bounce. Takes a couple of running bounces. Gives it, don't argue, to Jack Stephen. Lyndon Dunn squares it inside 50. Oh, Mason Cox dropped an absolute sitter. Ball spills to ground. And the umpire says the sliding rule against
Phillips.
Stevenson. And now the free kick taken by Gresham. He goes short to Loney in the right back pocket.
Well, he certainly does, and this is 3AW football. If you had any doubt, you'll have to check it up. And now the Saints are just desperate for another goal. They trail by 16 points, and the ball went out to Savage on the right half-back flank.
This is tempo football, Rex.
Yeah, this is boring as batshit. So the ball now down onto the centre wing. I'd rather watch Schultz walk into style at 39 say, I know nothing. And the ball now is going to be recalled by umpire Philip McCrevis as we go down to Johnny Farnham at boundary side.
Yeah, an extraordinary situation down here. Pembury ran back onto the field and then turned around. He'd forgotten his mouth guard. Pendlebury, and he'd forgotten his mouth guard. They threw it. It glistened like a flying tooth in the air. Or not very hygienic, I would have thought.
Terrific description, DJ.
Thanks, Johnny.
Insightful as always. Hickey, the kick forward. Billings met it. Handball. Aaron gave it off to side bottom. Now Taylor Adams. He in turn to Jeremy Howe. Kicks across defensive 50 and Chris Main takes the mark. Centre half back for the Magpies. They lead by 16 points. 27 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, they're just going to chip it around, and Treloar could just... He's taken the mark of the century, Scharenberg, from a 15-metre kick by Treloar. Treloar's going to get it back. No, Armitage covered him. And this is just crap football. Tell you what, you'd rather play Scrabble at Pentridge. And the ball now hand passed over the top by Phillips. Went across now, Langdon, down towards the wing position, right in front of a man eating a pie, and Adams has got it and went it back to Treloar. This is like Scrabble. It's just backwards and forwards. It's like backhand, forehand, juice, two blokes playing tennis. Goodness me.
It's like a pinball machine, isn't it?
It is. Main. He's got his 13th possession. He's a star. And it went out now further afield there for Dunn. And Dunn has kicked. They've had 49 possessions and gone 10 metres, Collingwood.
40 people on one half of the ground.
And how now
all the
Brown
players and the four umpires.
Has marked it.
Do you bring in zones here, Rob? Does it need it?
No,
mate,
zones won't work.
So down towards the big boy Grundy. Hand pass by Hickey of St Kilda outside to Nunes. He couldn't take it. Now Nunes will get it again, and he was dispossessed by Sidebottom. Ball, said the crowd, and your boot, says the umpire. And it's going to be a free. I reckon it's going to be a free kick to Collingwood.
It is, and
how now?
What do you reckon they do, Rob? What's your solution for the easing of the congestion?
Well, boundary umpires and field umpires have to get the ball going as quick as they can instead of looking around for 10 seconds.
So how now, Brown Cow, right down to Grundy, higher than Joe Cocker. It went out now. Coming through is Thomas for Collingwood. It went back to Pendlebury from 48 metres for a goal. Thank God for that. And listen to the fans! Well, that went well. Collingwood 13-7, 85 leads St Kilda 9-9-63.
Tell us what the marks total is, please, Shane, because Collingwood will be a lot more than St Kilda. They just go this chip football, which, OK, in the end they got a goal, but they could have got a goal there 5 minutes ago.
92-55 for Corrimal Windsor Caravans.
Now, can I ask you this question? Robert, I'm asking a question now. When this ball's bounced, just watch. If you didn't let people run into the square until the people in the square already contesting this hit out got it out, what would happen? Instead of people running in off the square, they'd run back because one side's eventually got to get the ball.
Grundy wins it down, side bottom, extracts it, flicks the handball forward, went over the head of Stevenson.
There'd still be no one in the square now. Now they'd be allowed in, but there'd be no point being in because the ball's gone.
Handball to Hunter Clark. Savage.
I've got another theory which I'll give to you, Sam, in a minute.
Back to Gresham.
In the form of a question, Rob?
Kicked into the centre of the crowd.
Good.
Marked by Steele. Still handballs it off. Gives it to Hunter Clark. Runs to 35 metres out and misses everything.
What do you think about this, Sam? You have a centre bounce, and there's around about 30 centre bounces a game.
Yep.
At every centre bounce, each team has to have 3 forwards inside the goal square with their opponents next to them. So you're taking 12 players out of the action.
No, mate, that is a fantastic suggestion, but the suggestion I'm giving you means that would automatically happen. Because there'd be no point standing on the square line and running in. You'd, in fact, stand on the square line and run out.
Meanwhile, back at the range, Tono disguised as a door, had his knob shot off by the Lone Ranger as Collingwood go forward, and this is De Guy. And De Guy's marked it in the left forward pocket. He played on and he kicked a wonderful goal. 6 goals. And Roberts got to put him in the boats because at three-quarter time, Collingwood are home and hosed. And Collingwood 14-7-91. They kicked 7 goals to 2 in that quarter. And St Kilda 9-9-63. 3AW is, was and always will be football.
Three-quarter time here at Etihad Stadium on a Saturday night. It's Collingwood who have now kicked away the Magpies. 14-7-91, leading St Kilda 9-9-63. That third quarter brought to you by Robot Building Supplies. Rob?
Well, it was a terrific goal by De Guy, and what did you say? How many did he kick?
6.
But we just saw a little bit of vision of Alex Fasolo in a moon boot and on crutches, and I reckon they're taking him to hospital. He might have broken his ankle.
So that's devastating news for Alex Fasolo, who tonight playing just his first game of football for the season, didn't even make it to half-time. Here at Etihad Stadium, it's the Magpies by 28. Up at the SCG, Sydney all over Fremantle. The Swans lead by 50 points. For the actions here at Etihad Stadium, one more quarter to come, not only in this game of footy, but in the great calling career of Rex Hunt. Stay with us, because for McDonald's, 3AW is football.
And listen to the fans!
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. St Kilda and Collingwood. Magpies have kicked clear, lead by 28 points at the final change. 91-63. Don't forget your chance after the game to have your say alongside Rex, Sam Newman and Robert Walls. But for the final time on 3AW Football, the final quarter to get underway here on 3AW Football is Rex Hunt.
In a moment we'll get to you, Darren, with your special guest as the umpire, and this is Robert O'Gorman. I've never heard of him. Jock Ross, hand passed it now to Jack Stephen. The man with no surname kicked it long down towards Nunes, and he's given away a free kick. What did you are about?
Well, one of those virtual free kicks that happen every contest. probably not necessary to pay it, but someone says if it's in the rule book, you got to.
So Howe went out with a long ball looking for Dunn. He was higher than Joe Cocker. It was kicked off the ground and went out to Savage, and he can't take it. Pendlebury did. Off the right half-back flank, and Pendlebury will of the wisp. A long ball down to the big yank. Can't get it, but now this is Barco. Barco one bounce. Ham passed it on. Got it on further now again, and here comes the young boy Thomas. He's got a long ball going, and it's the Gooey. And Dr. Gooey has got it, and he's going to line it up for his 7th goal.
Hey, Rex, there's two Saints on the wing who are in real trouble on the ground.
Yeah.
Get the glasses on them, Shane.
Nathan Brown and Hunter Clark. Looks like they clashed, but just getting up very gingerly. At least they're both on their feet now.
So to Gooey. He's already kicked 6 straight tonight. And he lines it up from 40 metres, and he kicks a long nothing. Although
Mark.
it's a mark right on the goal square
Hoskin.
by Hoskin Elliott.
Those two boys injured themselves trying to spoil Mason Cox, which is probably our point. 2 people it takes to mind Cox.
So Hoskin Elliott right in the pocket, and he's kicked a point. So Collingwood 14-8-92 and St Kilda 9-9-63, and Darren James here tonight.
Both coming off those St Kilda boys.
Thanks a lot, Darren. And a long ball out towards Big Hickey, but from behind Grundy has given away a free kick, and it's going to go to Reg Hickey.
So you just feel that St Kilda has to get the first goal. He's kicked it inside defensive 50. And Will Hoskin Elliott has intercepted, marked,
He's missed
played
it.
on,
Oh my
and
God.
missed.
No, this is disgraceful stuff. Seriously, this game is a fantastic game that we Australian. That is just disgraceful.
3 passages of play, all pitiful. 9-9-63 St Kilda, Collingwood 14-9-93. It's a 30-point lead for the Pies.
Remember on World of Sport they used to have a wrong way Willie and a right way Willie?
Yeah.
Mate, for sides.
Was that Hickey who kicked it across goal? It's straight to Hoskin Elliott, who should have goaled but missed. They've done that repeatedly, the Saints.
Let's go straight down to the boundary, and one of our heroes of the world, a paramedic, Siennan, and lovely to speak to you tonight.
Hi, Rexy. Thank you.
You know, I ran my program last night, and support that you men and women have got. You just understand that law-abiding citizens really think you're the salt of the earth, and I just wanted to tell that to you and your colleagues, and have a lovely night.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. We do what we can, where we can.
And Jack Stephen has got it, and he puts it down towards Membrane, and Membrane has got it, and I think Sienna might have seen 1 or 2 of them. Thank you very much.
Well, he should just go back and have a set shot for goal. Like, the man on the mark is 40 metres out. Elite footballers, distance shouldn't be a problem.
No.
But he's got 6 mates doing dummy leads.
Yeah, there's no wind because the roof's shut here. There's no mud on the ground. There's no rain. This should be just a matter of course.
2 behinds tonight for Tim Membry. His last 8 shots at goal for 1 goal 7. Can he break the deadlock?
No.
Nope.
This is me.
Minus score.
You're obviously
1
telling
goal
me that
8.
As a responsible grandfather, you don't know the difference between smiling and wind with an infant.
You speaking to me?
Well, I'm looking at you, Sam, but your lies, which have been plasticised, are looking at Robert.
Yeah, well, these
You look like Jimmy Wong at the Dim Sim shop.
Well, you could blindfold Jimmy with dental floss.
Seb Ross got a quick handball across. Gave it off to Sinclair. Kick inside 50. No one able to mark. Billings dives on top of it. And we'll see a ball up. 45 metres out from goal for the Saints. St Kilda 64, Collingwood 93.
Hey, Rex.
Yes, Robert.
How's King Billy Coke bottle going?
No, Robert, that's 10 years ago.
Ball
but
thrown up.
we can talk
Josh
to Cousin
Thomas
Morton.
Flicks a handball out. Done. Couldn't get a clearing kick away. Lucks of fortune. Bounced up for side bottom. Gave it to Langdon. He to Pendlebury. Back to Langdon. Coughed it up. Comes up now to Dunstan. Gave a little handball to Savage. Savage 60 metres out from goal. Sets it up. Weller went to fly, but flying over the back of him, Matt Scharenberg, who's had a wonderful game tonight for Collingwood.
Go to Darren James in a moment. Adams is down. We'll get to you in a minute, Darren. He might be running towards you, so that'll be fine. So now it's going to be Langdon who gets it on, and this is not a bad kick. It's okay. Hoskin Elliott, he dives into the ball just in front of the Chocolatier sign over there on the outer side of the ground. So it is a long Collingwood ball inside towards the big yank. The big American Pie can't take it. Running onto it is the Collingwood player in Maine. He now got it across there to the Collingwood player in Ross Stevenson. And the ball went very close to the boundary line. A wonderful tackle by Phillips of Collingwood has been penalised. Well, it certainly has, Rex. And Tommy Laff has got a report there on young Adams.
Yes, hello, Harry. Can you hear me?
Certainly hear you,
Taylor
Tommy.
Adams, he looks a bit like Prince Harry. He'll be all right. He just got a bad knock. Can you hear me, Harry?
Hey, hear me, Harry.
Membry off centre wing. Handball's forward. Armitage sockers it toward the boundary line. It should be deliberate or on the full. It won't be either, and it'll be tossed back in. Centre wing, outer side of the ground. Collins House scoreboard for Dominic Alafaci and the team. St Kilda 19-64. The Magpies 14-9-93. We've gone 6.5 minutes in this final quarter. Seems like it's been longer, Rex.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I don't know whether I'll see out tonight. But anyhow, the hand pass by Nunes over the top. Got it now. And here comes St Kilda Billings and got it to Steele. And Steele's kick is absolutely a high ball. It's like a giraffe, a high ball. Now it's going to be bouncing, and Jock Ross knocked it on, and going through there for the Saints is Sinclair. He was depossessed, and they're all appealing to the umpire, Margetts, who crosses himself like Monsignor, what was he, the bloke with the snowballs?
George.
No, not George Pell. He's in a bit of strife. Monsignor Brian, anyhow.
Mannix.
No, Brian Mannix. Knocked out by Grundy. Right over the top there. Side bottom hovering. Play on to the umpire. It went out now, and it's punched back over the boundary line. The Monsignor Brian Walsh passed away. He rang up for the snowball drive at St Lady of Mary's in Kew.
Snowballs?
Yeah, snowballs.
Didn't he?
Yeah, the snowballs, the snowball drive.
He asked for snowballs.
Monsignor, hello. What's happening? The ring is going on, Sam.
Saints into attack.
We're watching
boundary throw
watching
in.
the suits.
I'll call the football. You watch the Royal Wedding, Rex.
No, thanks.
Varco, handball off centre half back. Gave it to side bottom to Treloar. Links back up with Varco. Kicks to the point of the square. Stevenson knocked it to his own advantage. Was held by Webster. Should have been a free kick to Collingwood. Wasn't, but they maintained possession. Treloar, handball to Thomas, to side bottom. Back to Thomas. They're under pressure now, Collingwood. Ball on centre wing. Picked up by Crisp. Gave it to Pendlebury. Pendlebury spins out of trouble from Nunes. Delivers inside 50. Treloar dropped an absolute sitter. Came down to Stevenson. Inside attacking 50 for Collingwood. Picked up by Phillips. Handball errant, allowed Seb Ross to come away with it. His handball to Savage. Savage linked up with Loney. He in turn got it to Mav Weller. Kicks outside defensive 50. Mark on centre wing while he dropped it. Jade Gresham.
So Gresham now gets a hand pass. Oh, it gets a small kick. They're in trouble, St Kilda. Collingwood will turn it over, and Crisp has got it, but it's going to have to come back and give it a Howe now. And Howe, he kicked it across to his partner, and that was in crime at Phillips, and Phillips got it onto the wing position. And now it's going to be Collingwood to try and get it going through side bottom. And side bottom now, he kicks it back inboard to Treloar. And they're just waxing lyrical. And Collingwood have got this game by the ghoulies. A long ball out towards side bottom. Side bottom grabs it. Runs the half forward. Low kick down towards a long lead by DeGuy. DeGui's got it. He hand passes it. Play on, said the umpire. It now went to Savage of St Kilda, and he kicked a long ball across goal. And this is Mocker Dunstan of St Kilda.
So Dunstan outside a defensive 50. Billings underneath it. Couldn't mark. Ball bounces, trickles out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in between wing and half forward for Collingwood. The Magpies are 14-9-93. St Kilda is 9-10-64. All that Collins House scoreboard around the ground. Sydney home in Sydney, 15-9-99. The Dockers, 5-10-40. Ball thrown back into play. Dunstan looks to clear it. Couldn't get boot to ball. Came up fortuitously to Stephen. Handball to Ross. Links up with Billings. Little chip kick forward. Armitage was pushed in the back. No free kick. And we'll see another boundary
Sam, I know
throwing.
that Robert looking over, we understand with Robert, you know, with his, but with you with 3 failed marriages, look over, do you ever wonder what if?
What if they'd been successful?
Yeah.
I would have been a bigamist.
Real, fair enough, no worries. So here's Grundy. Picked it up, askew with mongrel finger breaker down towards the American Pie. He kicked it forward. Now the hand pass over the top there by Webster. Webster got it back, and now he's going to kick a long spinning ball. Watch out, here it comes Membray. Membray got it in towards half forward, and the Saints are going to light it up with
Tell him to
Armitage.
have a shot, Rex.
Have a shot, Armitage. So he comes up and he kicks it, and he won't kick a goal. He'll kick a point, and it went behind the stick. It was nearly a Wilbur post. Thank you very much. Collingwood 14-9-93 to St Kilda 9-11-65.
What are we looking at?
Mr. Markle.
Who's
Off you
that?
go, Shane.
That's the burglar.
What was that on?
I don't know.
Just seen yourself on the inside monitor, Sammy.
Oh,
Mason
I
Cox.
didn't know we had one.
Couldn't hold on to it. Came down to Seb Ross. Gave the handball to Savage. He fumbled it. Now side bottom.
He's
Ducks
about
and weaves.
best on ground side bottom.
Might get the 5 Rain and Horn votes. They're over to you tonight, Wolsey. Giving the votes.
I want Sam to give the votes.
Sam's giving the votes. The 5 Rain and Horn votes.
I tell you what,
Pendlebury.
Melbourne could do with some rain, and the three of us could do with a horn. Keep going there, Shane.
He's Dunster puts it on his left boot. They are the number one people in real estate, Rex.
My word, they
Here's
are.
Scharenberg.
They're all right.
Defensively. Gives it off to Langdon. Langdon kicks outside defensive 50 to Grundy. Knocked away though by Hickey. Hickey allowed Stephen to get the pick up. One way then the other. Kicks back to centre half forward. Savage. Point of the square. Half forward for St Kilda. They have to get a move on. 28 points is the margin. You feel it's already too late. Oh, the kick inside 50. Hickey slipped over on his backside. Ball spilled down to Dunn. And the umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go Collingwood's way.
St Kilda play a game that they're just not capable of playing. They probably try and emulate the good sides, and they're just not capable of doing it. They're a pretty ordinary football side at the minute.
So the American Pie has got rid of Marshall. And the umpire says okay, and the crowd give a little bit of a Bronx cheer. Now the mark was taken by Steele, who just hit it at right angles. In a bit of trouble down there is David Caulfield. He can't get it, but Jock Ross, the Milpera motorcycle massacre, got it out there towards the wing position, and St Kilda are no good. I'm sorry, fans, they're no. You can support them all you like, but they're no good. They've got to change their style. Webster has got it and gets it back onto the centre wing. Go on.
No, you're right, Rex. They do have to change their styles. No good trying
no
to
goals
emulate
this
the
quarter.
good sides. Someone's got to change the paradigm of the lower sides and take the game on and try and play a different brand of football, because they're not going to beat the good sides playing like this.
Ball inside 50 for the Saints. They got to get a move on because time now really of the essence. Under 10 minutes remaining in the match, and St Kilda trails by 28 points. Collingwood looking to record their 5th win of the season, be 5-4 after 9 rounds. And I reckon if you ask most Collingwood supporters at the start of the year if they'd take that, the answer would have been yes. Ball thrown in. Hickey threw Grundy out of the ruck contest. Ball came down though to Treloar of Collingwood. Runs off right half back. He took a bounce. He then lost possession. Jack Stevens steals it back, but the boundary umpire said no, I'll toss it back in. 60 around from goal for the Saints. St Kilda 9-11-65, Collingwood 14-9-93.
Both teams are getting close to 200 handballs each.
That's right. They've got more handballs.
gee.
It's football,
Yeah.
not handball. They've got more handballs than kicks.
I know we talk about the old days a bit, Sam, but last week I was at a 50-year reunion of the Carlton Premiership team in 68. That 68 team in the grand final had a team total of 28 handballs.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
And the windiest day, and a bloke called Jeff Blethyn kicked 4 on Lofsy, and he never had a solid stool after that. So Armitage kicked it into the worm-burning area in the centre, and coming through there is Awesome Wells. Wells now hand passed it back to Howe. Howe got it on further, and it's ended up with Main, who's improved tonight. Main got it on now further afield. This is Scharenberg. Scharenberg kicked a long ball. He's kicked it out on the full.
That actually, Robert, is an amazing stat.
Goodness me.
And the game wouldn't be any worse off for it.
Mate, you're on 800 a year, and you kicked it to Darren James in the crowd. My goodness gracious me, Kamal.
Is Siri about, Rex? Is he going to call in?
Well, I think he might have gone to the Tobin brothers. It's Surrey, I think.
Surrey.
Yeah, John the Quail Man will be listening.
Seb Ross.
John speaks 10 languages.
Off left half back.
English isn't one of them.
Short to Weller. This is the standard of game you were after for your last one,
Absolutely
Rex?
magnificent. It's just convinced me more than ever that I should be doing footy nightline.
Weller.
Plus, I don't want to upset Dwayne and Timmy Tobin. I couldn't upset the most
Spilled
beautiful
down.
men in the world.
Crisp. Short to Howe, who keeps it inside defensive 50 for Collingwood. And now Lyndon Dunn at full back.
Do you know how lonely footy nightline is at 20 to 12 and there's no red lights on the board, mate?
I can't imagine, Rex. That's a wonderful mark.
And when you give a hanging offence when you gave a pancake parlour about your away without permission from Frank Farquhar in the prize area.
Jeremy Howe's gone up for the mark. It looks like he might have done something to his ankle as he came back to ground level, though, because he is limping. Howe quick to get rid of it, but Jeremy Howe looks in a bit of pain at the moment.
Someone say the fat lady went a bit early on, did they, Shane? Robert?
No, I don't think so, Rex.
She was bang on the money by the looks of it. Langdon, as she always
In that
was.
case, you could have sang it before the game started.
Yeah. Oh, he did one day. Who was that, Sam?
He did too.
It was Carlton versus the Brisbane Bears or something.
Phillips.
The Brisbane Bears won, and Robert got sacked.
Don't bag the Bears.
Bad memories all round. We're going to see a free kick to St Kilda on centre wing. Don't forget, after the game, your chance to have a chat with the boys, and after 11 o'clock, a very special edition of Footy Nightline as Seb Ross sends the ball inside 50. Howe
Well, the thing about it
punches
is,
it away, and a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Saints.
Darren James has got His Royal Highness Prince Charles there. Married, sir. How do you feel today?
Well, you know, on behalf of Mummy and myself, it's been marvellous wedding, and Meghan Merkel, and Mummy actually just took all the German names out of her phone because she wanted it to be hands-free.
Oh, Jesus.
You're going to have to pick it up.
Hey, Rex, who was your favourite West Coast Eagles player?
Look, I like big cocks. Well, no, I don't. I liked Wembley and Embley and the job in Heady, but I preferred Jeremy
Tell us what happened when they went to Lake Wendouree and the English crew won the head of the river down there.
Well, it was a bit embarrassing because Wal Oakley was broadcasting on 4BA, and he said the wife of the headmaster is going down to the side of the lake to kiss the cocks of the winning 8, and they went to a break.
Grundy got a handful away. Back for extra law. Pendlebury.
We've actually got a replay of the head of the river for the last 50 metres when Geelong Grammar were beaten by Caulfield Grammar with Wal Oakley on 2BA.
Yeah, what? Is that a cue for me to do something?
Yeah, when he was just so excited and he made a fool of himself. Now, that's all right.
Defensively for Collingwood, goes to handle to Howe. High ball outside the defensive 50. Tell you what, you've called with some absolute rippers over the year, Rex. I don't know how they did it.
Well, the Saints,
fancy dress.
The Saints were good in the first half. Like, there was only a point difference at half time, but they've only kicked 2 goals in this second half.
Ball to be tossed back in. 55 metres around from goal for St Kilda. They're 9-11-65. Collingwood 14-9-93. Collins House scoreboard.
Who'd want to be laying on the beach on the Indian Ocean at Bali when you could be here? This is magnificent. I'm glad I'm coming back. The ball now, Stephen got it in the hands there with a long ball by Steele. The Saints go forward. Now they're going to come out. And now it's going to be Jock Ross to put it on his left boot down towards Billings. It's gone through. No, it hasn't. It's come out. Membray's there. Membray can't get it. And over the boundary line and out of bounds. How did you sum up the Prince and the Princess, sir? Were you happy with the proceedings?
Well, you know, the crowd was good. It was fantastic. The Mummy was happy, and Meghan Markle, not Morgan Mickle.
Thank you very much. The ball now spinning back into play, and it went out. It hit actually Grundy on the back of the bun. Now it's hand passed by Savage, and now he kicked a long ball in towards the goal. Thumped through behind the stick by Pendlebury. It's a minor score. St Kilda needed 2 goals to go to Lord Nelson, but now they can't do it. St Kilda 9-12-66, Collingwood 14-9-93. And before the 11 o'clock news, we've got the race for the last time. And then from 11 till midnight is Footy Nightline. This has been magnificent as Howe has got it. but Collingwood are home, and here's Shane McGuinness, who needs a medal for tonight.
It states the obvious, gentlemen, but we have not seen a goal in 20 minutes of
amazing.
play in this final quarter.
Yeah, well, as Rex said, it's crap football.
Yeah.
But we're remaining positive.
We are.
And we're optimistic.
Your calls after the game, 96900 693 13 13 32.
Can we get that on tape? Sam is positive, and we're
Sets it up,
optimistic.
Inside 50, Gresham.
Well, I was
tackle.
Told not to run the game down. I could be at a fancy dress ball.
Say it
I went to a fancy dress ball.
Did you?
Yep. The woman I went with was dressed as a chicken. I went as an egg, and I can tell you now which comes first.
It's amazing that we're not in delay.
Rex,
it's amazing that we're not in delay tonight.
There's 4 minutes to go, Rex.
Yeah.
Give it your all.
So the ball goes down to the wing position. There's a mark taken there by Holler for a Marshall. Marshall's got it. Gets it onto the right half forward and Nunes. Savage wanted it, but it went over the top now. Here come the Saints. A long ball was on by Geary. He can't get it, but Collingwood now side bottom. Now it's going to be in the centre. Turnaround Varco. Punts away. Running onto it to Gooey. Beautiful play over the top there. This is Webster. Webster got it on. Now calling for it Nunes. Nunes right in front of Johnny Farnham. Hand passed over the top. Back to Marshall. Long ball now by Steele. A worm-burning mongrel, finger-breaking up-country punt kick. Stephen got it off to Billings. Got it off to Savage. Which way did he kick it? There was no one at home, and the pick-up was by Dunn, and he's chipped the little chip to the ground outside 50.
You would see better constructed football and passages of play in suburban games played all around the metropolitan area. This is disgraceful.
Yeah, no, I agree, Sam. For someone
but we're remaining
celebrating
positive.
50 years, I reckon we might have to get you back for another game, Rex, because you shouldn't be going out with this.
Yeah, we might get a goal here,
Thomas
boys.
delivers inside 50, over the head of Geary. Can Varco run onto it? He can't. He can. He knocked it on. Stevenson fumbled, picked up, dribbled, kicked.
Oh, no.
He's done the dribbler and he hit the stick.
Ross Stevenson has hit the stick. It was a Wilbur post.
Why did he just drive it through the goals? Why did he dribble it?
Oh, that's what they like to do
22
nowadays, Sam.
minutes in this final quarter. We have not seen a goal.
Look at Robert Harvey in the coach's box for Collingwood. He can't believe it. He's just shaking his head.
I reckon there's about 40,000 here shaking their heads tonight, Rob.
40?
I've gone over.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Ball at centre half back at the moment for St Kilda.
So thank you very much. It's been a great time, particularly on 3RW, which is my home, but this is it. I've had a gutful. Sam's going to have to go back to the 39th floor on the Docklands. Robert de France eating snails, and I'm going to Mud Island to disturb some whiting that think they're okay. So the hand pass now by Jack Stevens. He couldn't even find the man. He's getting $900 a year, and he couldn't even find the boy down there in Rice. And it went down to the right half forward and over the boundary line. And Darren James, you're going to be up at 5 tomorrow to talk buy, swap and sell.
Yeah, I'll be selling broken wardrobes and then some mattresses as well. So give us a call at around 6.
Oh, I'll certainly do that.
I've got one more question.
Yes, Robert.
And it's to you, Rex, and you, Sam.
Right.
Serious
The
question.
both of us.
What the best team you've ever seen?
All right. St Kilda go forward, and there's a mark by Gresham. I would think the Brisbane side that won the close game against Collingwood in 2002, when Ackermanis and Boss and Black just wouldn't give up and they came back from the dead. I think that second Brisbane premiership was the best side that I've seen, but that's just an opinion. As from 40 metres out, can the Saints get one for the scoreboard? You bet they can, and that's through Gresham. And Collingwood remain on 14-10-94 to St Kilda, 10-12-72. You'll hear very shortly from Shane, and then I'll take you through to the siren, and that'll be a yibbity-yibbita. What about you, Sam, the greatest premiership side?
Wow.
Best team.
Maybe the Richmond side of 67 when they won the grand final. Maybe Essendon when they beat Hawthorn in one of those great grand finals.
83.
Yep, when Simon Madden was dominant. Other than that, mate, you've got me on the hop.
Really?
Yeah, the Brisbane sides were great. Hawthorn sides were great in their day.
Geelong?
Yeah, certainly.
Final moments being played out here at Etihad Stadium. The clearance from Dunstan up toward right half forward. Mark is taken by Nunes. Kick smothered off the boot. Murray did well. Ball just inside the field of play.
The difficulty with that question
Main
is
sees it over.
That they might have played one great game to win a grand final and pretty not lacklustre during the rest of the year, but you tend to give them a yearly rank on just one game that they might have been dominant in.
58 seconds to go. Take it home, Rexy.
So the ball's spinning back into play and it's picked up by Grundy, and he went there, but the ball went to Webster. He got it out, coming around and doing it well as Clark. Clark of St Kilda went for Nunes, but here comes Murray. He dropped the ball. A scrimmage at centre half forward. The Saints are desperate, but they can't do anything about it. They're done. Thomas has got it. Sent it out to the half-back line. And now it's going to be the young boy in Phillips. Phillips has got it. Now he got around again, and he kicked a short, low ball in towards the centre of the ground. Looking for Treloar. He can't get it. The hand pass went out to Thomas again. Went out further to Adams.
Keep going,
further
Rex.
down the side bottom. Side bottom to Varco. Varco from 40 in towards goal. And it's a mark to Sharon Bergen. He kicks a goal. He kicks a goal. Get it on to Hoskin Elliott. And it's all over. Red Rover with 5 seconds to go. Collingwood 15-10-100. Leading St Kilda 10-12-72.
Well done, well done. And I'm glad Collingwood got a goal, Sam, to finish off the game, because they've mucked around a bit the last 25 minutes.
Last 4 quarters they've mucked around. Sharonberg's been all right, hasn't he? Or hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been good. Centre half back. I saw him play last week and I thought he was good.
So, okay, this is it. I've got 5 seconds to go. And here we go. The umpire, Robert O'Gorman, approaches the rubber knob. He's got the air conveyance and goes bang. And that is it. Yibbity yibbida. That's all, folks. Thank you very much. Collingwood 15-10-100 have defeated St Kilda 10-12-72. That is all.
They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
Just over 35,000 in at Etihad Stadium tonight have seen Collingwood defeat St Kilda 15-10-100 to the Saints 10-12-72. For Collingwood, Jordan De Goey was the star. Finished the night with 6 goals. For St Kilda, Jack Nunes, the highest of the goal kickers, he finished with 4. But tonight, it's the end of an era. Rex comes to a close, but for Collingwood, it's another win on the board.
What's that for?
Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
So the Magpies win. They go to 5-4 after 9 rounds. While for St Kilda, their winless run continues. They won in round 1 against Brisbane. Since then, the best they could muster was a draw. 96900 693 outside of Melbourne, 13-32. We move into our after the game on air until 11 o'clock, and then we'll move in to a special edition of Rex Hunt's Footy Nightline after 11. But 96900 693 outside of Melbourne, 13-32. St Kilda fans, Collingwood fans alike.
Did you say we're here till 11?
We're here till 11, Sam.
Well, I'll be. You didn't tell me that.
Sam's not.
Aren't I?
No, we just got a lovely message from Eddie.
Who?
And, Eddie. He said it was a great call, but he listened to it and he just thought 3AW have got to just think about bringing us back. So we've just got
Bring
to
us
go.
back where?
We've got to go by Wendon Grove in Toorak on the way home and say to Carla, put the kettle on, and we have to speak to you, Ed, because you've had just a little bit too much sherry. Are you there, Sam?
I'm wondering if you're speaking to anyone in particular or you're addressing me personally, Rex. I've failed to understand
It's
most
those
of what
eyes
you've
that
said tonight.
I can't look into your eyes anymore, Sam. You
I
need
can't see out of them.
Plasticized.
We will get down into the Collingwood rooms. We'll get an interview down there. We'll take in the song. Darren James heading around now. It's probably good that Collingwood won for Darren James' sake, given he's a 39-year member of Collingwood. We'll get down to the rooms. We'll get an interview. We'll wrap up this game, but then we will celebrate a few things about Rex and talk about the state of the game at the moment, because it was a pretty embarrassing example given up tonight from St Kilda and Collingwood.
Well, St Kilda made too many basic errors. Oh, yeah, really. They try very hard, but so they ought to. This is what this game's about. You've got to try hard if you haven't got much talent. They probably fall into the trap of trying to play a game they're not capable of playing. That is emulating the top sides who actually have more skills. The difference probably was De Goey, who kicked 6 goals, 3 of them not really structured, but then got his eye in after a while. Mason Cox, I'm not sure what role he is meant to play in this Collingwood side. It seems bewildering that he becomes fatigued just running around after the ball when he could be a focal point. I take Robert's point that De Goey was the main man down there, but at least someone should roll the dice and have someone down on one half of the ground most of the day. The game in the end is football. It was turned into a game of handball. It was a haphazard, pretty ordinary game of football. But a win is a win. Collingwood will take it. They ended up winning by 28 points, so it was a reasonable victory in the end. And I would say, I don't know that St Kilda have any soul searching to do, but they're playing pretty ordinary football. I think they're playing a game they're not capable of playing, and they may as well try something else from here on in.
Okay, Sam, listen to this. St Kilda's 4 highest possession getters. Dunstan, 11 kicks, 21 handballs. Seb Ross, 11 kicks, 18 handballs. Jack Stephen, 12 kicks, 17 handballs. And Sinclair, 10 kicks, 17 handballs. It's just...
They
go around in circles.
And it's, at the end of the day, it is football, and it's not the other. And that's the problem.
And they get criticised, the Saints, for not kicking scores. When your midfield players are just over-possessing the ball, it's very hard for a forward, because a forward's best lead is his first lead, and if you've got players going backwards and forwards and spinning around, you just don't know when the ball's going to come in. So there's no predictability to the St Kilda forwards as to what the midfield's going to do, other than they'll muck around with the ball.
I haven't heard that for a long time, Robert. That is so sensible. A forward, and you played your career at centre-half forward, and I played in the last 5 or 6 years at Geelong at centre-half forward, and your best lead is your first lead, or your first lead is your best lead without doubling back and going again, and you become predictable to the people you play with, and hopefully unpredictable to the people you play against, and that is having some focal point. And as I say, if you just keep going backwards and forwards and across the ground, no wonder we have rolling packs of players that get down and choke up the forward line. And it seems a logical way not to play that way, but sides keep doing it. And I'm saying the bottom half of this competition tries to emulate the top half, because they think, because we're like sheep and lemmings, we think that is the way to play football. And someone at some stage must break the paradigm and bring this game back into a more spectacular looking game. It's a popular game, but it is being played in a very unpopular fashion, in my opinion.
96900 693 or 13 13 32. After we get down to the Collingwood rooms, we're going to take your calls, your thoughts on the state of the game, because while it was close for most of the night here at Etihad Stadium, it was poorly structured, and it was only till late in the final quarter that we actually saw a goal in that final term. Collingwood 15-10-100, defeating St Kilda 10-12-72. Your calls for Sam, Wolsey, Rex is sticking around as well, and then after 11 o'clock, we'll sit down and have a good old-fashioned chinwag with Rex Hunt through until midnight. 96900 693 or 13 13 32. Just Rob, just as we touch on Collingwood, are they a finals contender this year in your eyes?
look, the way they're going, they may win more games than they lose. They're 5-4 at the moment, so if they end up, around about 12-10, and I think they could do that, they're an improved team. And I like some of the younger players that they've got coming into this side, like DeGoey. He's fairly inexperienced, Appleby. Hoskin Elliott's improving all the time. Stevenson's a terrific kid. Thomas is playing the best football of his career. Murray's a dasher off halfback. I really like Treloar. Does waste it a little bit, but he tries really hard. There's around about a half of the side have only been playing for a couple of years, so I think there's a real upside to them. Look, they could play finals, but I think if they make it, they'll be somewhere around 7 or 8.
Let's get down into the Collingwood rooms. DJ, they'd be pretty happy down there tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Shane. The players are just making their way into the rooms as we speak. I've spoken to Fazzola. His leg is not good. He's looking for someone to walk his 2 dogs. I've tipped Robert's name in as they form a circle down here in the rooms. They're looking very happy with themselves. Well, I'll tell you what. The big Cox has got a bit of a limp as well. Oh, no, he's all right. He's coming over near me. I'm about half his size. My head's going up to his navel as the troops gather around and grab arms. This is one of the first times I've been in the rooms. As a Pies man, I'm pretty happy with it as well. As they link arms, and here they go. And we sing the song.
Good old Collingwood forever. We know how to play the game. Side by side we stick together to uphold the Magpies' deadfall mighty. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
Now, win's a win. We'll take the 4 points any time. Back to you, Shane.
Good on you, GJ. We'll get back down to you in a moment with one of the players and have a chat with Collingwood after they won tonight over St Kilda, 100-72. Let's get to a few of your calls before we catch up with one of the Collingwood players. George, welcome to 3AW Football.
G'day, guys. Congratulations for over the years, all the great commentary, entertainment, magnificent. I'm going to miss you guys. I wish you wouldn't leave. I wish you stayed on AW because I think we've got a few morons who do commentate the game of today and they've got no idea. And the way you guys look at the game, like I look at the game, is exactly the same. It's absolutely disgraceful to watch. You're right, Sam. The Metropolitan football is better than this. It's absolutely embarrassing. I want to ask you a quick question, guys, at Robert and you, Sam and Rex. What can I do to get an application to coach AFL football? Because I'm willing to do it to change the game.
George,
how can we do it?
George, hold the line. We'll come back to your call in a moment because I've got to get back down to the Collingwood rooms because one of the stars for the Magpies tonight is with you, DJ.
Yeah, good on you, Shane. Jeremy Howe is with me. Jeremy, well played tonight. We'll take the 4 points. Close first half. I was a bit worried about you taking a mark and then you fell awkwardly. Are you okay?
Yeah, I kind of landed a little bit awkwardly. I thought I hyperextended my knee a little bit, and then it kind of gave way at the end there. But nothing to worry about, and a win always makes it feel better.
Jeremy Howe joins us on 3AW Football. It's Rex Hunt. Jeremy, you've given me so many thrills. I'm with Sam Newman and Robert Walls, and I want to know, are you encouraged to go for your marks? Because what us old blokes really yearn for is those screamers, Jesselenko, you beauty, that sort of thing. When so many robotic men play the game and are scared to take the game on, are you encouraged by Buckley and Harvey and the assistants to actually go for the ball if you believe you can actually, mark it?
Yeah, I think, you're spot on there, Rexy. If they believe you can get 2 hands to it, I think they give you all the confidence in the world to try and grab it. And at the moment, we've got multiple blokes down there doing it at the moment with the likes of Langdon, and Matty Scharenberg's been huge this year and continues to win the ball back for us. But we're definitely encouraged if you can mark it, have a crack at it.
Now, is there any chance when you get home and you're icing up and your partner might actually turn on the replay of the royal wedding? Do you have any interest at all, Jeremy?
Not really. I think the only interest is probably getting home and might even have a beer with the family. So that's all I'm thinking about at the moment.
I can just give you some advice after 46 being happily married to my wife. I'm happy and married. Please, mate, for your own sake, have an interest in the wedding.
All right, mate. I'll be sure to turn it on then.
Robert Walls, Sam Newman on 3AW Football.
Well, Jeremy, this is Sam Newman. We didn't think it was a great spectacle, but that doesn't worry Collingwood people because a win's a win, 28 points. Did you feel it was not as good as Collingwood can play? You took 8 marks, as Rex said. You're probably the dominant mark taker on the ground. Did you find it was a hard game to get into and get on top of?
Yeah, I think, especially that first half, we knew St Kilda liked to play a fast brand of footy, and they flooded some numbers back in our forward 50 and then tried to run it through us. And we kind of, when we won the ball back, it was almost like a bit of the pressure cooker was on, and we tried to go back just as quick, and that's not the way we really want to play. And it was a game of turnovers, and I reckon at times it would have looked pretty sloppy, but like you said, to be able to probably maintain that third quarter was more closer to the brand that we wanted to play and being able to maintain the ball. And but we'll take a little bit out of it. But that first half wasn't as sharp.
Jeremy, Rob Walls here. Well done on the win.
Thanks, mate.
Just looking at your back line, it's just starting to become pretty settled. Jack Crisp is playing well. He's giving you plenty of dash. Scharenberg's improving with each outing. Young Murray's settled into the team, and you've got the veteran back there, and your old Melbourne teammate in Lyndon Dunn. So you're becoming a pretty solid unit of 6.
Yeah, I think, the continuity and the consistency of the boys that are playing, it definitely helps. We're gelling together as a back seven, and, like you said, those boys are performing week in, week out, and, we're a system-based side where, we don't need one bloke to stand out, and we're working well together at the moment, and we've got blokes in the VFL as well who are definitely putting their hand up, so keeps us on our toes, and, we're looking forward to continue to build.
Jeremy, congratulations on tonight. Appreciate you joining us on 3AW Footy.
Thanks, boys. Tough.
Jeremy Howe down in the Collingwood rooms. Collingwood 15-10-100 defeating St Kilda 10-12-72. In the other game tonight, Sydney too good for Fremantle, winning 17-9-111 to the Fremantle Dockers 7-10-52. George, apologies, we had to get down to the Collingwood rooms, but restate your question back to Sam and Wolsey.
All right, guys. Look, I'd like to congratulate all the commentary entertainment you guys did over the years. I'm thoroughly going to miss you guys. I really enjoyed it. I was actually kicking myself laughing before the comments. Magnificent. And it's entertainment. Now, the state of the game, Sam, you hit the nail on the head. I was like watching a Metropolitan game. The Metropolitan game's so much better than what we watched tonight. It's actually terrible. I mean, we're going backwards, sideways. Centre-half forward, you just mentioned about with Robert, centre-half forward. I don't think these players know what that means anymore. I mean, can we? Let me just finish quickly and then you can answer. How can I do an application form to coach an AFL side? Because I'm willing to do one. Because I'll show you how to coach a football game and we go back to the 80s.
Well, you'd probably be able to Google that, mate. I have no idea how you'd apply to do that. But look, Robert and I were speaking before the game, and when people who've played the game in the past critique games of the modern era, we run the risk of being told that we're living in the past. But my point about the way the game's played at the minute is that it is, for most of the competition, that's over half of it, it is not logical because the players are not capable of playing the game that the side puts together or the match committee puts together. Everyone plays the same football, and at some stage someone will break the mould and leave a couple of people down on the forward line, and they will stop the rolling packs, and they will actually have designated forwards that are specialist goal kickers. And I know that that is fraught with danger because coaches will exploit that type of football, but it's worth a try because St Kilda are going nowhere playing the way they are, nor the Sydney, nor is the Gold Coast, nor are most of the sides that are on the bottom. They're just not going to go anywhere where you get to the ridiculous situation when sides are 4 or 5 goals down into the last quarter and they're still chipping the ball around the back line. What is the point of that? They may as well roll the dice and take the game on. Robert and I said at the start of the game, Robert said, and I agree with him, that 50% of the games are pretty ordinary. This was one of them tonight. 30% are quite okay to watch, and 20% are really good, and they're the 20% that we hope we see every week, but invariably we don't.
No, you're exactly right, Sam. Sam Newman, Robert Wall sticking around until 11 o'clock on 3AW Football. Your calls, 96900 693 13 13 32. We'll debrief the round so far, look ahead to tomorrow, and the world-famous race call before 11 o'clock as well. And Rex will stick around after 11 for a special edition of Footy Nightline. Here at Etihad Stadium tonight, Collingwood way, 28 points over St Kilda. And with thanks to McDonald's, 3AW is football.
Now, back to 3AW football.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium on this Saturday night, where Collingwood has defeated St Kilda by 28 points. That's one of the old 3AW themes. as we farewell Rex from the commentary box for one final time. In tonight's other match, it was Sydney over Fremantle, 17-9, 111 to the Fremantle Dockers, 7-10-52. We'll get down to the Collingwood rooms in a moment, but Ron, welcome to you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. I have a question for the panel there, and I thought it was a great call tonight. I thought what was damning was the statistics you read out for the top 4 possession bowlers for St Kilda, where the handballs probably outnumbered the kicks by at least 50%. What can we do to start reversing that trend? Because I think that's what's really spoiling the game today.
Well, Ron, they overdid it, no doubt about that, St Kilda. At the end of the day, they've had 195 kicks and 212 handballs, so it's completely out of whack. And as we said, it doesn't help the forwards. It doesn't help them score goals because they just take too long and they're too indirect in getting the ball into their forward 50. And that's something that is in the responsibility of the coaches.
Thank you very much. And St Kilda have gone down tonight. Very ordinary performance, but Eddie very happy with a text to me by the Pies winning. And Darren James, a member of the Woodsman and the Coterie, is with the star hair bun himself, and that's Brodie Grundy.
G'day, Brodie. Are you getting stuck into a number 37 chicken chow mein from Tommy Tai Cheese there?
I don't understand a word you just said. But...
No, me either, but you're looking good. You're iced up to the max. Good game. And as I said earlier, we got the 4 points.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a bit of a focus going in for Howie to get the result for Howie. It's probably something that we haven't done consistently is perform on our milestone game. So yeah, it was pleasing to get the win.
And Brodie, it's Rex Hunt speaking. I'm with Sam Newman and Robert Walls. You may not have heard of us, but we just lament the good old days of the number 1 ruckman going head to head. And you've been a breath of fresh air this year. Have you enjoyed the fact that good old-fashioned ruck play has been, your forte in this particular season?
Absolutely. I think you'd speak to any ruckman in the game. They love to go at it one out, and I certainly enjoy it, the competitiveness of the position, and it enables you to sort of get in a bit of a rhythm, and that certainly helps me perform.
You say, Robert and Sam and I, we train Tuesday and Thursday night if you need a few goal scoring or a little bit of fitness. Wednesday night, a few weights and that sort of thing. But because it's a full-time job, what do you do for your time?
My time? How do you mean?
Well, your leisure time, when you say,
okay.
Today I'm going to do something for myself and forget about football.
I think balance in having that work-life balance, not just in footy, but in anything that you do is really important to having a successful life, I suppose, not just performing on the footy field. So for me, that looks like going to uni during the week, walking your dog, taking care of the house, just those simple things, mate.
Brodie, Rob Walls here. Congratulations on the win. You must be impressed with Jordan De Goey's performance, like 6 goals and really set the win up for you early in the match.
Yeah, you mentioned fresher breath there. That's Jordan De Goey to be able to come in and put away what was a disappointing sort of pre-season for him. And credit to Geordie, and he's really performing. And we look forward to seeing him start for us going forward.
Young man, you give us commentators a lot of enjoyment. You went out with our work, but the thousands of people that come to see you play, you've had a great year, and congratulations, and we appreciate your time tonight on 3RW.
Thanks so much.
It's Brodie Grundy down there with Darren James. So how are we going, all right? The roof is going to be open, so we're going to take some more calls. And Lyndon, you want to talk about the state of the game? Well, you've got no argument from us, mate.
No, well, I'm Collingwood, and they won ugly tonight. They don't seem to play well at Etihad these days, but the 4 points are there. So, but watching that game last night, the Bulldogs in Adelaide, how the Bulldogs coaches can show their face in public after getting a team to play like that in wet weather. Why don't they just go back to the old-fashioned game, get it, kick it long, and watching the local leagues around the traps. Too many metropolitan clubs try and emulate what the league's doing. The players aren't fit enough and not skilled enough to do it, and it's crap. They just need to go back and play like they did in the 60s and 70s.
Well, I don't reckon there's any comment worth it, Lyndon, because you've just actually done our job, because you're just summing it up, and I think people have had a gutful. Let's go back in the rooms, and of course, I was invited to 3RW in 1979 by Harry Beitzel. And his offsiders were Ray Young, Bill Jacobs, and of course Tommy Laff. And Tommy Laff joined us earlier. You're in the Collingwood rooms. I believe you were locked in the toilet, and Eddie got you out for a limbo dance under the gap between the floor and the door. And Tommy, it's just lovely of you to revisit us on 3AW tonight.
Can you hear me, Rex?
Yeah, I can hear you down there, Tommy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Tommy.
Who you with there? Is that Harry or Rex?
No, Harry unfortunately can't be with us, and but I'm Rex, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I've been up there, rooms, and I remember when you joined the team, Rex, and that young Darren James was on to the technician. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. That Darren James rang me as full as a half a sock on Sunday night at 9:30 and expected me to be light-hearted. And I mentioned it to young Darren today. I said, I apologise for being short. And you know what Darren said?
No.
Did I ring you on Sunday night, Rex? So that's how pissed he was.
Well, anyway, thanks for being a part of it, Rex. And I see, can you still hear me?
Yeah, can you just pass the microphone over? And I just want to say to Kamal, I just want to know what you're doing these days. I don't hear you singing anymore.
You know, I am always available for Carol's Better Candidate, but, Peter Wynn never rings me up anymore. I don't know how that Dennis gets a job every year.
Standing beside you is Johnny Farnham, and Johnny could actually take a lesson and say to Glenn, Rex has only had one comeback, which was the blowback. No more comebacks. How many more comebacks, Johnny?
Mate, sincerely, can I say, and I rang Glenn, and he reckons there's a few more left in you. He'll have a chat to you, he'll ring you. He reckons about another 4, and that'll do you.
Well, I
love you, mate, sincerely.
We'll get to Prince Charles in a moment, but standing alongside you is Senator Darren Hinch. And Darren, I bet you it's shame, shame, shame for these dickheads belting up paramedics.
It's a sham, it's a farce. I'll take your calls on 329-7522. I've spoken to leaders all around the world. I was at Martin Luther King's funeral. I called the moonshot. I'm now a senator, and it's a disgrace. It's a sham, it's a farce, an absolute disgrace.
It's a farce.
I think I said farce.
Yes, I think you said. Thank you very much. And how's the drinking going with your acquired liver?
Look, I've had a couple of Christmas, but, I was privileged to get that, and I'm still alive and above ground, and every day above ground is a good one.
And before we go to Eddie of Abbotsford, we would like to thank you, Your Royal Highness, and Highness, and you must have been so proud of your son Harry today.
On behalf of Meghan Mickle, Gold Coast, of course, the Gold Coast not doing too well, but can I say that it's not the South African cricketer that my son married, Morning Muckle.
Sounds like the BBC. See you later, Darren. See you in the morning. I'll be having my wardrobe on at 8:05 because it's blocking my wife's garage. And Eddie from Abbotsford, we really appreciate your time.
Yes, good evening, Rex. It's Eddie from Abbotsford here. And I just wanted...
Since when's the bloke that owned half of the eastern suburbs of Melbourne lived in Abbotsford?
There's a bit of view from there to make sure that I can get the collectors in to get the rent. That's the idea. Could I just say, mate, on behalf of everyone in football, Rex, to you and to Sam, who are there tonight, and to Robbie Walls, fantastic call. I listened to the call during the course of the night. I never listened when I'm at the football, but I couldn't help but want to listen tonight. And Rex, can I just say on behalf of every footballer and every person in the media who is drawing a wage these days, to the people who have made football what it is as an entertainment, to the guys like Ron Casey, to Lou Richards, to Jack Dyer, to Bob Davis, and to you, Harry Beitzel you've mentioned, Sam Newman who's there, and people who have just done so many great things in this wonderful industry we're in. You guys have been the talisman. You are the people that we all copy. We are just, as Sam would say, facsimiles and fake, not fake ones, but faded ones, if you like. Not quite as good as the original. You are the original and the best. And tonight, for you to call a Collingwood game with the Carmody family, part of your family, of course, through your beautiful wife, Lynn, and your last call to be a Collingwood victory, means an awful lot to us against your old team, St Kilda. But in all seriousness, mate, you and Sam and Robbie Walls, I remember as a young boy when Robbie used to pull up in Broadmeadows when he was dating his young girlfriend of those days. I was a 5-year-old, used to go up to have a look at Robbie. He was
just cost me a house, Ed.
It did indeed. Luckily, it wasn't a house in Broadmeadows, Rob. But you know what? We used to stand up the corner and look at Rob, and then I was lucky enough to call one of my first ever games on television. In fact, my first ever game on TV in the VFA with Rex Hunt, and of course the bloke with you, Sam Newman, who changed my life by being my great partner You guys have made careers for people. You've made reputations for them. You've entertained just myriads of people over the years. And Rex, I'd just like to say on behalf of all your colleagues in the media, and particularly those people who understand the commerce of the AFL and what you've brought, every time that the media rights is signed, I hope they send you a dozen bottles of Grange, mate, because you've just been so sensational. And particularly to you and to Sam and to Rob tonight, there's just been three of the most amazing people we could have in the media. On behalf of the Collingwood Football Club, the listeners over the years and people who love the media, thank you so much for a lifetime of excellence and so much fun.
Well, thank you very much, Eddie, and just fantastic. And we know the real Eddie, and Sam's nodding, and so is Robert. And thanks to Eddie McGuire, just fantastic. And he mentioned the Carmody family. When I met Lynn in 1968, and Kevin Shetty introduced me, and I thought, goodness me, she didn't know her father was a dual premiership player for Collingwood. And his great-grandson, Nigel Carmody, our nephew, is at the Tobin Brothers. I have to have a real talk to him, but he's at the Tobin Brothers broadcasting tonight. Was a fair footballer in the VFL, but you wouldn't believe it. My wife didn't know anything about football, and now she's a know-all. Just knows about everything.
Something in common with you.
Do you know what she knows about me, Sam? She knows about me.
You can take the helmet off. The war's over.
You are a star, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed. Robert and I. Oh, well, I'm not speaking to Robert. Thank you very much, Ed.
Thanks,
very
Ed.
nice of you to call in and say those
Good on you, Eddie.
Three absolute legends. Good night.
Thank you, Mary. Let's go to Clayton at Clayton. How are you, Clayton?
I'm good, Rex. How about yourself?
Is Clayton up way?
I beg your pardon?
How can we help you tonight, Clayton?
Look, Rex, I just wanted to call up and say I've really enjoyed listening to your commentary, even though I've only just started listening to you guys over the last couple of years. You guys are magnificent to listen to.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, it's just lovely of people like you ringing up, but you don't believe the game's in much of a state. You're just like us. Is it in trouble, or can it be easily fixed?
Look, Rex, I'm going to be honest. I was sitting watching the game tonight, and I think for your last game, I reckon it was really, really ordinary. And I've watched games from like 40-odd years ago, and I watched really, really strong pack marks happen. It was pretty much it was just all kicks, what I noticed, and I thought, this is really skilled football. This is what I like to watch.
Okay, thank you very much for your call. Let's go to Lee and welcome you to the show.
G'day, fellas. How you going?
We're good, and thanks for your call.
No worries, mate. Just want to say, Rexy boy, should continue calling the games. You're just one of a kind, mate. The calls and the games are just priceless, seriously.
Thank you very much. And tonight, before a crowd of 38,706, Collingwood defeated, who did they play? St Kilda by 28 points. And right around Australia and the Northern Hemisphere, into Mars and outer space and Mars and Uranus. This is 3AW Football.
Now, back to 3AW Football with Rex and the team.
Very much to you, Craig. And 96900 693 or 96900 1278. Which is it?
It's 96900 693. It hasn't been the other one since we moved over to the newer frequency.
Oh, all right.
They're arguing, Rex. You would have thought Sam and Roy would have been able to work together. They're arguing over who's doing the votes.
No, we weren't arguing.
The rain and you were in heated discussion about who does the rain and horn 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, well,
who did we decide on?
Well, Robert and I have decided. Robert and I have decided. Would we, Robert, give? Because he kicked 6 goals, he was probably the difference towards the end, or in the end. Would we? I'm giving 3 to De Goey, probably because he kicked 6 goals. I liked the boy Shannon, whatever his name, Sharonberg. And who was the other man? Side bottom. Was it unfair to give 3 Collingwood players votes or not?
Well, I'll tell you something.
You got to give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's making it hard. I'll tell you something I did 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm deferring to Robert now then.
I did the Richmond Fremantle game, which Richmond won by 77 points, and I gave 3-2-1 to
know.
Fremantle players, and I think I was right.
And we have a podcast, The Beast, Grant Thomas, Mick Sheehan and I, and we discussed that, and we were of the unanimous opinion that was quite okay to do that.
You can do that. It can happen.
If you have three outstanding players in a shocking side,
Yep.
and you have a jack-of-all-trades side that gets home by 70 points, that is absolutely quite logical.
Well, Shane, you
So-
wanted
so-
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll give 5.
That's what I need. That's
five
what I'm
to
looking for here,
Degoe.
Rob. 5 to Degoe, okay.
4 to Scharenberg.
Yep.
3 to Sidebottom.
We're going to get.
And we've got to come up with another 2.
We'll get a St Kilda player in there.
So I need
somewhere.
a 2 and a 1 from you.
What about
gentlemen?
Membrane? You seem to mention him a lot. Or do we just have fun making his name
he
up?
was no good.
Membrane had one kick to three-quarter time.
Okay, well that's.
So we'll scratch him.
I'm a bit rusty.
What about Jeremy Howe? You were happy with his 8 marks. It was his 150th game.
That's another Collingwood man.
Well, that's okay.
No,
You
I
can
know
do
it
that.
is. Oh no, it
Right,
is.
so you want to give 2 to Howe? Is that what we've...
What about Grundy's 42 hit-outs? Did that impress you?
No. Well, not really.
Not even as an ex-ruckman.
Well, that's all right. I'm not an astronaut and I haven't been to the moon, but I know it's there. I'm only just. This is shocking. This is going to the stats. We wouldn't give Nunes any votes for kicking 4 goals in a pretty lacklustre side.
Well, he kicked 4 out of 10. Yeah, let's give him a vote.
Well, let's give him a vote.
Give him
When
a
in
vote.
doubt, go to the stats.
Yeah.
This is the most. This is the most thoughtful process we've gone through ever.
Yeah,
for Rain
no.
and Horn votes.
The easy thing would be say, look, wow, Dunstan had 32 disposals
yeah.
and Ross had 29, but they're like the woof bird. They go round in circles.
All right, so Nunes gets the 1, 2 to Jeremy Howe, 3 to Steele Sidebottom, 4 to Matty Scharenberg, and the 5 votes tonight for Rain and Horn. Jordan DeGoey, don't forget you can vote for your player of the week at 3aw.com.au, all with thanks to Rain and Horn come Monday.
Don't forget, coming up after the next break is the Clinton Gribus Golden Mile at Warrandyte. The favourite is the Fox Hat. Wear the Fox Hat, which is just upstream from Kew. Number 1, the Fox Hat at $3. Love on the Bonnet, number 2 at $6. Princess Litigation at $33. Number 4, the Squadron Leader, $101. Number 5, Jimmy Stuff, $25. Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls is $15. Brother Nelson is $11. The other brothers are not here because they're all in jail. 69 Lemon Chicken is $20, and Leanne Dick is $20.
Very good evening to
Sandy
Sandy
Roberts called her Leanne Cock at the Hamilton Cup.
Rex,
Let's go. Yeah.
I got a question. for you.
This is the 5th question tonight, Rob.
What's the state of the track? Because I believe there's a good mud runner in that field.
Well, it's a soft 6, which the 3 of us at 70 years of age can relate to. It's a soft 6, although you've got to swallow that blue pill very quickly, Sam. You end up looking like Gladstone Small on me with a stiff neck. But it's a soft 6. What is the wet tracker?
As the jockey.
Love on the Bonnet.
Well, I think Ian Stewart has been up at Warrandyte watering the 600-metre mark, because Stewie used to do that down there. We're not taking a break. We're going to Shane, who wants to talk about the royal wedding. G'day, Shane.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Nice to speak to you.
I'm a 1%er.
Really?
I'm the 1% of your audience who watch the royal wedding instead of the football tonight.
So tell me, were you under petticoat rule, or was it your decision?
Absolute under petticoat rule. I've been over and watched Keilor Football Club and Maribyrnong Park play day under the auspices of Mick McGuan from Keilor. We got beat, come home, thinking we're going to watch St Kilda and Collingwood. Walk in, and Mrs. and sister-in-law watching the royal wedding.
Well, I tell you what, it's the greatest decision you've ever made. If she wanted you to watch the royal wedding, mate, you'll watch it. They say happy wife, happy life. But I tell you what, it'll be a nightmare tomorrow because they never change their mind. You think you're getting brownie points, mate, you'll get Jack Shizen. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break. We're coming back to Warrandyte for the Clinton Gribus Golden Mile over 1,600 metres. The Fox Hat is the favourite, and Leanne Dick is firming at $201. This is 3AW Football and Racing.
Now, back to 3AW Football.
And welcome back to Warrandyte for the running of the Clinton Gribus Golden Mile. A listed event over 1,600 metres on a Rex Hunt track, a soft 6. The Fox Hat has maintained the favouritism at $3.10. But the big news that Brother Nelson has firmed in the ring, and he's now $11. Lemon Chicken at $20, and Leanne Dick has blown out to $201. And the squadron leader moves in to join Princess Litigation. Love on the Bonnet is steady. Jimmy Stuff is there. Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls, ridden by Monica Lewinsky, has taken up barrier 8. Brother Nelson is there. 69 Lemon Chicken goes in. And Leanne Dick to be supported by Sandy Roberts. And they're all set. And they're in the starters' hands. And they're off. And the Fox Hat has got away first with Love on the Bonnet on the outside, Princess Litigation, and then the squadron leader, and a wall of horses race towards the 1,200 metre mark. They go out by the edge of the Yarra and the Melaleuca Plantation with Jimmy Stuff a length and a half in front of Princess Litigation. On the outside, the Fox Hat and 4 wide, Love on the Bonnet. Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls, and Brother Nelson behind them. And Leanne Dick and Lemon Chicken bring up the rear. They run round by the 800 metres mark, and Love on the Bonnet. A length and a half to Princess Litigation and the squadron leader. Jimmy Stuff and Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls, and Brother Nelson trying to force his way amongst the gap.
Go Fox Hat!
69 Lemon Chicken and Leanne Dick. They run down with 400 metres to go.
Come on,
Clinton
Dick!
Grover's Golden Mile.
Go Fox Hat!
Here comes the Fox Hat. Where the Fox Hat, it's upstream from Kew on the banks of the Yarra. Sack the Cook and Hold the Calls. With 100 metres to go, the Fox Hat in front with Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls. Leanne Dick! Leanne Dick is coming down the outside at 200 the run. And Leanne Dick has gone bang! And she's blown him to the Scheitenhausen. And Leanne Dick wins the Clinton Grovers Classic. Second, Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls. The Fox Hat, Love on the Bonnet.
What was the margin?
Princess Litigation, Jimmy Stuff, Brother Nelson, Lemon Chicken. What a great... And it's a short half head that Leanne Dick won the race. And thank you very much, Sam.
Hard to believe that we did that every week on 3AW football. Not only the last call, but also...
And we had a sponsor who paid a shizen amount of money for that.
A sponsor paid for that, did they?
It was a protest. I tell you what.
There was a sponsor that paid for that segment.
Now the numbers in the frame: number 3, Leanne Dick; number 2, Sack the Cook and Hold My Calls, and the Fox Hat. Hold all tickets. Hold all. Hang on a minute. It's a no race. It's a no race.
Why?
Back here next because I just can't think of anything more. Damien, lovely to speak to you, and thank you for your call.
How are you going, Rex?
Thank
Just
you,
2
Damon.
quick points before I get to my question. Everyone's going to miss you, Rex.
Thank you very much, sir.
And the second point, it was good to see you at the footy show on Thursday. I was in the audience. It was nice to see you live and Sam present you with the photo and stuff like that. It was very nice.
The impressive thing,
to see
Damien,
you.
with Sam was that his absolute focus on the running sheet. I didn't think that Sam would ever prepare, and just Sam, the attention to detail with the running sheet, that you were just meticulous and knew everything
no, I'm
that was
serious,
going on.
Rex. Are we on air? Are you still? You're just speaking to me.
No, I'm just practicing for when we come back from the
Okay.
break. Okay, Gav, press the button and throw us back from the break. We're on in 3, 2, 1.
Right.
Press the button that says Craig Willis back to us there, Gav, you idiot. 3, 2, 1.
Now, back to 3AW football.
And thank you very much to you, Craig. And Sam, we've got Damien, who couldn't hang on any longer, said he was impressed with you and I on the footy show. And I want to say to you, Sam, that you are meticulous in reading the running sheet. And you, I tell you what, would make Graham Kennedy look like just a lightweight. You are fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's go to Matt, and thank you very much for your call, Matt.
Hello, boys. How are we?
Good, thank you, Matt.
That's good. Sam, top effort on Thursday night, mate, with Rex. That was magnificent, mate, so well done on doing that.
Is that you? Is that Darren Jobs? Is that Darren? Mate, I'm tell you what, I'm out of practice.
Go ahead, Matt. Keep going.
Yep. How you going, Rex?
Good, thank you, Matt, and it's very
That's
nice
good,
of you
mate.
to say that.
Darren
It means a lot to me.
I've been a massive fan of yours, mate, back in the days from Channel 7 with Scotty Palmer and the Game Day.
Oh, wow. And I'm Rex Hunt and you're not.
Yep, and you'd be the year, but that's all, folks.
I didn't. What about the Sheila on the piano who wasn't wearing any pants, and Gordon Bennett had a heart attack as the number 6 cameraman Wardy zoomed in on the crutch area?
Oh, I didn't see that, though.
I tell you what, it'd make Liberace so boring watching the Sheila on top of the piano. Thank you very much, Matt. And g'day, Steve. Welcome to the show.
She did the splits on the piano. They had to rock it to break the suction.
Hey, Rexy. Hey, good boys. How you doing?
Good. Thank you very much for your call.
Listen to you up at Rainbow Beach, mate, and mate, nothing more colourful in name than that. And you've been very colourful. Thank you very much for your rabbits.
Thank you very much, sir.
And seven mate actually had you on most a fair bit in the dying stages of the game as a mark of respect to you.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, and I do want to mention about breaking the paradigms in a second, but Rexy, just take us back. I remember the highlight of your career, calling career, was a day in '96, and I'm sure there was a lot of people listening. And you broke the news live about Port Arthur, mate. Can you remember the day?
Yeah, it was a Trevor Barker benefit out at Waverley Park. And once again, Bondi giving the stats, and you were there. And we used to have the window open, and people used to come for the chocolates. And it was just a shocking day, as Bondi would say, 3 people. And then, you know, that piece of crud killed Walter Mickak's wife and 2 children, and we broadcast. And it was just a horrible day. So there you are. So thank you very much.
Everyone can remember where they are at a certain time, and that always strikes me. Breaking paradigms, Sammy. Don't you think that's just an indication of crap talent? Because if you look back over the years, you had the 80s where there was a high-scoring Hawthorns and Geelongs, and then you had the low-scoring St Kildas and Sydneys in the 2000s, and choking the game. And I mean, last week Collingwood Geelong was crap. I'd agree with you with having to break that paradigm. But Collingwood won tonight. That was pretty standard. I mean, don't you just think that that's a sign that you've got crap talent? And you know, when someone like a Richmond comes along and breaks the lines, that's a breaking of a paradigm.
A paradigm is a pattern of play or a blueprint, and I think that if sides experimented, the lower sides experimented with trying to play the game a different way, it logically might be better for them.
Thank you very much.
Steve, thank you for the call. Just before we go, Sam Newman, Robert Walls, thank you so much for coming in on what was a very special night. Lovely to have you back on 3RW Football. You're more than welcome anytime.
Thanks, Shane. It was good fun. Good to be part of Rexy's last call. Good on you, Rex. Well done.
Yeah, good on you, Rex. I don't know that I could handle another one of them, but it's getting a bit old now.
Once every 20 years.
No, it was fantastic. Brought back great memories. It did.
Once is enough. With thanks to McDonald's, 3AW is football.
Now, back to 3AW Football with Rex and the team.
Nice to have your company on this Saturday night where Collingwood has defeated St Kilda by 28 points, 15-10-100 to St Kilda 10-12-72. And the other game tonight, Sydney, too good for Fremantle, 17-9-111 to Fremantle 7-10-52. Now coming up after 11, a very special edition of Rex's Footy Nightline. I'm going to sit down here with you and we're just going to have a nice little chat about footy and broadcasting and life in general.
What I might do is just get Simon to see if he can ring Alex back out of the 11 o'clock news, because Alex, but I wanted you to sit down and I wanted to talk to you for a moment. I wanted to talk to you about when, you know, you're listening to footy with your dad, that when did you say, I'd like to give this broadcasting, because yours is a great story. Because
it's not about me.
I know that, but I think you were bullied. But this is my joy to see you where you are today, because you weren't bullied, but you weren't given any encouragement because people didn't think you're good enough, and now you're an A-grade sports person and broadcaster. When did the love first say and you thought, I'd love to give this microphone a go?
It's very kind of you to say. I reiterate, it's not about me, but I was 8 years old and I was down at Geelong and I was down at Cardinia Park where I grew up. And down at Cardinia Park in the Brownlow stand, you used to be able to walk up to the stand and you used to be get close to the commentators. I'll get close to Teddy Whitten calling for K-Rock, Tim Lane calling for the ABC, and you for 3AW.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we want to give you something very special tonight.
A hat.
Because you are.
A Fox hat.
You are 3AW Football. Please, let's do the ribbon.
You are joking.
You are 3AW Football.
Somebody's going to...
And we can't thank you enough for
me.
all that you've done. You're still going to be part of the family.
Yeah.
But this is now, because radio's not a visual medium, I'm going to have to describe it.
Me.
It's a football with a plaque that says Rex Hunt celebrating your 50 years as a player and a caller in football. Congratulations. your 3AW family. And we found this, and it's an old footy. We found it in a cupboard because there are some very special autographs on it, but the most special of all is the one of
Shane
one
Healy,
of your former commentators,
Clinton Grimes.
in that man there.
Oh,
and he
my
would
goodness
be
gracious
so
me.
overjoyed that you have that now.
I'm going to treasure that. I've got a lovely room at home with all... And look, I can only thank 3AW enough. And I'm going to prepare, because out of 11, this is the rest of my radio life, looking after the people and entertaining them. And more importantly, the people who are not travelling so well can talk to me and we can have a bit of fun. But it's not about you, but you're an inspiration, but you're the future. And I tell you what, it's a great team, and we don't do it my way anymore. And thank you very much. I'm just absolutely chuffed. Thank you.
Tyre Power's Big Easter sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of Toyo tyres. Hop in and get the power of a sweet deal on Toyo tyres for your car or SUV. Buy 3 and get 1 free. That's buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power to have a safe Easter on the road with Tyre Power's Big Easter sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Proud partner of 3AW Football.